Welcome to the Drew Yari Show.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Saturday night, 8:04 p.m. Central Time here in San Antonio, and welcome to a special Saturday edition of The Experience, guys. This is a jam-packed show full of the big news of the week, a big chunk of the news, as well as the Q&A. So we're not going to forget the Q&A, of course, so it's going to be a pretty big show tonight, guys. I'm Drew, as always, and with me is my podcasting partner in crime.
Justin, Spinebuster Tees, spinebustertees.com.
Nice. So, again, like I mentioned, we do have a pretty packed show tonight. If you've been living under a rock, or maybe, I don't know, living with The Rock, or have no idea who The Rock is, we'll get to SmackDown. But some pretty big shit happened in the world of wrestling, preferably WWE. So let's just get this out of the way. So on Tuesday was when the sale for WWE and Endeavor, which also owns UFC, was finalized. So now WWE and UFC are now known as TKO Media Group. So let me just pull up the thing right here. No, wait. Wrong news article. All right, here we go. WWE UFC merger is finally closed, with Endeavor today announcing the creation of TKO Group Holdings. The new premium sports entertainment company has now begun trading on the New York Stock Exchange under the TKO ticker symbol. The official press release, Endeavor and TKO CEO Ari Emanuel described the creation of the TKO Group Holdings as an exciting new chapter for UFC and WWE as leaders in global sports and entertainment, while TKO's executive chairman, Vince McMahon, said that WWE is optimally positioned for future growth and success as part of TKO. As per the previously agreed terms, Endeavor will hold 51% of the controlling interest in TKO, and existing WWE shareholders will hold 49%. Moving forward, Dana White will become Chief Executive Officer of the UFC, with Lawrence Epstein retaining his roles as Senior Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer of UFC. On the WWE side, Nick Khan will switch positions from WWE CEO to President of WWE. Then McMahon... Yeah, basically just talking about McMahon's past. So WWE is no longer a McMahon-run company. Well, technically. But McMahon is the chairman. He still controls interest in the company. He's still going to play a role on the shows, well, backstage mainly, but he now has his own boss to answer to, and we talked about this in the shop. How do you view this merger? Do you think it's good for the company, for wrestling? Do you think it's bad, or are you just kind of like in between on it?
A little bit in between is going to be good, but there are some elements to this that is not good. Obviously, a lot of people got fired. Over 100 people got fired yesterday because, Endeavor, they already had a media team. They already had, an advertising team. They already had people that can run a website or whatnot. But the issue with that is that since they already have their team already, they're firing a lot of people who are familiar with the product. They are familiar with WWE. They may not watch WWE, but they know what it is. They know, they know who's like the top sellers and things of that nature. They're familiar with the product. But the fact that Endeavor, who is mainly part of UFC, you're going to have some people there who may or may not even know a lot of things that's going on in WWE. Hence being, as I showed you on Wednesday, or was it Tuesday that you came to the shop, that on the TKO banner they had Tiffany. You know what I mean?
Trinity.
I'm sorry, man, it's been a long day. Trinity
Oh, sorry.
from Impact, from Impact on there, and she's the current Impact Women's Champion, and it's how does how unaware you are to certain things. You know what I mean? Was that WWE not communicating to Endeavor? Possibly. But at the same time as well, it's man, how can you not be aware of that? So, that could be the bad side. Now, I think the business is going to do great. They got a great business plan in place that they're possibly going to have, like a TKO week where, they'll have, or TKO weekend where in a certain city where they'll have Friday night SmackDown, then Saturday the UFC pay-per-view, then Sunday a WWE pay-per-view, and possibly even Monday a Raw, the Raw show. That's great. That's fantastic. Have all of your fans melt in one place and maybe get some crossover. But at the end of the day, though, I think that I think it's gonna be more positive than not. But I am worried for some of the talent, even though some talent didn't get cut as of yet. With major acquisitions, mergers like this, things of that nature does happen where they do budget cuts, which they are doing right now currently. But they're saying that it's not going to be much budget cuts as far as on the media side and the performer side. But you can't really trust these people. You can't trust these big wigs. At the end of the day, these guys lie to us every day. Yep. Even when I used to work at Spectrum, I didn't trust wherever the fuck the major the major bigwigs say. Usually there is some lies in there. So we'll just have to keep our eyes out on that. But as of right now, though, so far so good, I guess, if you want to call it that. But again, a lot of people did lose their jobs, which is very unfortunate. And Nick Khan sent out an email talking about service packages and stuff. Say, hey, we really appreciate your contributions and all that shit. But it's a little bit wait and see. But we'll just have to see how things really look like in the next few months from now.
I mean, that's kind of my view too, because I talked about this with a few of our friends, RJ and Ruben, right, where me and RJ have more of a like you just said, a wait and see attitude, because I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but when it comes to like big business and shit like that, my mind kind of just goes blank. All I can just see is like the positives. Because I mean, unfortunately, with mergers of any like big companies, like when Disney merged with Fox, and was bought all their assets, preferably Marvel Studios getting the rights to a lot of the Fox Marvel characters. Unfortunately, a lot of people had to lose their jobs. We wish that wasn't the case with mergers, but unfortunately that is. As much as a dick thing that is to say, that's just how business works. Wish it didn't, but it does. With this, maybe I'm just the king of wishful thinking, but like I kind of look at it as like, now that UFC and WWE are in business, this kind of gives you the hope of maybe not so much going back to like an edgier product, because again, the Attitude Era it's dead and buried. It's never coming back. The best thing you can do for this current product is maybe go for like a PG-13 rating. Yeah. Somewhat, to where it's just like...
Or would you say it's that now?
Yeah.
Already? Just minus like the blood and shit. You know what I mean? Because they're casually cussing for the most part. I hear bitch at least, once a show from the women at least, like, and they say, damn and ass, and they don't blink that out. So, so I think it's already PG-13. I think the major thing is that, have a little bit more adult themed type of situations, right? Including blood. So there's been so just so everyone else know here that Peacock, obviously they're gonna be on Peacock through I think 2025, but eventually after that they're probably gonna go to like a UFC model as far as pay-per-views is concerned, where you get a subscription.
I was gonna bring that up. So,
oh yeah, go for it.
The TV rights for SmackDown. So, Disney and I'm blanking on it. Amazon Prime are in contention for the rights to SmackDown, and you just said ESPN Plus. I think Disney would be the better place, and I think that's more the likely destination.
And I called that months ago.
Yeah,
I called that months ago for them to be on ESPN, and that can happen.
Right, and also, I mean that could work. I mean that's going to bring in the ratings, and WWE's already in bed with ESPN, so you got that. Where do you think that leaves Raw? Do you think Raw is going to stay on USA or go to another network?
Anything can happen at this point. Anything can happen, but if you remove if you remove Raw off of USA Network, with the exception of when they were on Spike TV for those few years, WWE and NBC Universal has always had a relationship going back ever since the fucking 80s. So that's a big commitment. And I know that Vince McMahon and Dick Ebersol are like, but I don't even know is Dick Ebersol still in charge over there at NBC?
Let me look that up.
Yeah. Let me see. I don't know if he is or not still, but I think he's still like a advisor or something over there. But anyway, he has control over there at NBC. I know that. But regardless, though, so I know Vince and Dick Ebersol are still kind of a close relationship. So it's hard for me to see Raw off of USA Network. You were gonna say something?
Okay. No, I thought I saw it. Anyways, continue. I'm sorry.
No. It's hard for me to see Raw off of USA Network, but at this point, anything's up for grabs, man. The main thing I'm worried about is let's talk about the real situation here with this merger. I believe that WWE are going to do great in business. They're going to do great, maybe in ratings, things of that nature. They're going to do great in advertisement and merch. They're going to do fantastic. I have no doubt about it. The stock is going to be fantastic. I have no doubt about it. What I'm worried about is the guy that's typically back in control, Vince McMahon, because at the end of the day, it wasn't really about the sell the company to Vince. It wasn't really about the sell the company. It was about like, hey, how can I get back in control? He didn't want to sell to the Saudis. He didn't want to sell to I think like to Disney originally, things of that nature, because I believe they probably wanted him out of control because they're like, hey, we want your daughter in control. We want Triple H in control of the company. And he was like, no, fuck that. Let me sell it to my friend over here. Amari Emanuel. And, and with that, he knew that he was going to have control. He knew that Amari Emanuel was going to keep him in control. So I'm more worried about the creative side of things. I'm more worried about on not necessarily like, how should I say, probably not necessarily like the reigns or whatnot, but with bad creative, it could come with bad reigns at the end of it all. But at the end of the day, he is in control, but some of the things are, he's not going to be in full control as far as like all the decisions. So he's going to need to know where his boundaries are at. But pretty much Ari Man was like, hey, you built yourself an empire. This is the reason why we bought you in the first place. Hey, you're in control. Just do what you need to do. If I need to intervene, I need to do that. But at the end of the day, Vince can basically do whatever the fuck he wants. He's in more control of the WWE than was, a few months ago. He's in more control of the WWE than he was a few months ago, despite him selling the company. So there you go.
Yeah, again, it's just a wait and see thing. I wasn't really able to find too much on Dick Ebersol. As far as I know, for one, he's still alive, and two, he's
alive. Yeah.
The last thing I saw was apparently he resigned from NBC Sports in 2011. But I guess he's still in charge of NBC.
I think he's still like a advisor or some shit like that. But yeah.
But continuing with the story, so yesterday, WWE laid off over 100 plus employees, one of which was Dana Warrior, the widow of Ultimate Warrior, who had been, what exactly was her job title again? Ambassador or something?
Yeah, like ambassador. So like obviously she did like the Hall of Fame or whatnot, but she like also did like a lot of community stuff, a lot of passion projects within WWE. So I know she had like a so like anything like WWE does, like Connor's Cure and the things that they be doing for that, she like played like roles in those things. So it wasn't just her showing up at the the Hall of Fame every year. So.
Okay. Let's see. PW Insiders are reporting that Friday's layoffs have concluded with more than 100 employees fired. None of the layoffs were talent, and talent releases were never scheduled for Friday, breaking down the firings in totality. PW Insider reports that the WWE's Insights and Analytics team was cut from at least 20 employees down to 3, and that the marketing, graphic design, and live events department was also impacted. In an email, WWE President Nick Khan reportedly informed employees based out of Stamford, Connecticut, that there would be a staff meeting at the new headquarters Tuesday morning, and confirmed the conclusion of the layouts. So Tuesday, as in this coming Tuesday?
Yep.
Okay, that's gonna be a big day. And then more layoffs have been announced following WWE's merger with UFC after Endeavor's acquisition of the company, resulting in the creation of TKO Group Holdings. Let's see, Dana Warrior. PW Insider reported Friday's layoffs included WWE Digital Campaign Manager Alexa Gotthard, who announced her departure on LinkedIn, and several members of the company's marketing department, with brand director Kimberly Kierkegaard and affiliate marketing managers Severio Brigina, both gone.
Yeah, and also the WWE president and CFO Frank Riddick left WWE as well. But he was bonused $5 million on the way out. So what a way to go, I guess.
Shit, I want $5 million.
I want 500,000, man. Jesus.
Shit, I'll take 1,000. Like, fuck, I just want 1,000. That'd be awesome. A higher ranked official, Andy Levine. Maurice, what will we do for $1 million? You don't want to know. Andy Levine, WWE Vice President, International and Platform Strategy, was also let go. Levine worked for the company since 2018 and wore multiple hats within the company, including overseeing international social and digital strategy and working alongside other departments like marketing, programming, content operations, business planning, and many more. Other layoffs on Friday included WWE's Executive Vice President of Development and Digital. Did you say Jamie Horowitz?
No, I said Frank
Riddick.
Yeah, Frank Riddick, yeah.
Okay, Digital Jamie Horowitz, Executive Vice President, Head of Marketing Catherine Newman, and Director of Enterprise Master and Data and Governance Amanda Bloom. Jesus Christ, there's a lot of positions. So yeah, unfortunately, a bunch of people lost their jobs, and I wouldn't be surprised if we hear more come Tuesday. Yeah. As your boy Von Kali would say.
But also as well, like even with that, like there's been little trickles of news about Vince, that a lot of stuff that wasn't advertised on Raw, was changing all day, and Vince McMahon made significant changes to the show. He's back to making creative changes and giving input. That's coming from Fightful Select. You know what I mean? And between Fightful Select and Dave Meltzer, so two separate reputable folks or avenues in the wrestling news space is giving the same information. That's like, Vince is back and he's making creative changes, and even though Triple H is head of creative by name, key by name, Vince may be really, pulling strings. So we'll have to wait and see. Like to your point, have to wait and see, and see how going into Survivor Series, if it's much change. If it's not, like, if it still feels more or less the same, there's probably gonna be a few little Vince inspired things here or there. But if it's major changes, if it's like back to 2018. where it's like, oh, let's have, or 2018, 2019, it's like, oh, Sami Zayn's in the ring with Bobby Lashley's sisters, and one of them being fucking Anthony Bowens, and stuff like that. Or another Bailey, this is your life, terrible segments like that. So, we'll have to wait and see.
Speaking of CM Punk, he's back in the news again. Surprise, surprise. CM Punk was at CFFC 125 on September 15th, so that was yesterday, for Cage Fury Fighting Championships commentary. He has called action with the company dating back to 2018. And let's see, it's his first public appearance since All In. And he had an interesting comment, which, hold on, can I look up the video? I can't even look up the fucking video. Fuck. But anyways, his other two co-hosts basically just said, we got you here. We don't know how long you're gonna stay. And CM Punk said, I got time on my hands for the next 2 months. It's September, and then in 2 months is gonna be November, as people already know. And November is Survivor Series, which happens to be in Chicago. So, again, this is probably just CM Punk having fun with the trolls and maybe being a little cheeky, as CM Punk usually is. But kind of a change of pace for Punk when it comes to WWE, because before it was, fuck WWE. Now it seems like, he's maybe playing more nicey nice with WWE.
Everyone, I will be saying this to the day I die. Everybody comes back to WWE in some fashion.
Yeah, I mean, Ultimate Warrior, Brett, Bruno,
Macho Man, everybody comes back to WWE in some fashion.
Yeah, exactly.
But just to add to that, CM Punk. I'm not saying that CM Punk he does for sure want to come back to WWE as of right now, but with the whole acquisition or whatnot, Nick Khan was on ESPN. Or I don't know if he's on ESPN or there was an article when I didn't.
I have the quote.
Oh, go for it.
The exact one you're talking about. So, ESPN. Nick Khan was speaking to ESPN's Mark Raimondi when asked about CM Punk possibly coming back. Nick said, "Listen, we only have respect for Phil. We appreciate his run here. We appreciate what he did and tried to do with the UFC. Not many people can actually get in there and do what he did, so when we have respect for Phil, we wish nothing for the best." End quote.
What do you think? Were you interpreting on that?
I think it's Nick Khan just trying to be, I guess, giving a more politically correct answer. Because again, he can't just outright say, "Oh, we want to sign Phil." I think it's more just him saying we do want to get Phil, but we kind of need to do A, B, C, and D first. Because Drew McIntyre, I think, kind of had a similar quote where they asked him about CM Punk coming back, and he just said, all I'll say is that he's this, and that, and I'll just keep it at that.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things of I can kind of read what they're trying to say, but I know they really can't say anything as of now. I mean, for all we know, maybe they're working at a deal. Who knows? But
here's the thing too, and we still haven't really gotten an update on this. And I mentioned this a couple weeks ago when we were talking about when CM Punk got fired. Is CM Punk on a non-compete? That's the biggest thing right there. That's the biggest thing, right? If he's on a non-compete, okay, how long is it? I know, and I mentioned this a couple weeks ago when we talked about CM Punk being fired, that typically, from my remembrance, that in New Japan, if someone gets fired due to insubordination or something that's just like, hey, we're letting you go, we're releasing you, but if you get fired, typically it's a year non-compete. Does AEW have non-competes? We don't even know if AEW has non-competes or not, directly. Is there something in his contract, saying that, hey, your non-competes for 6 months or 3 months or a year or whatever the case may be? So that's going to be the biggest thing. we'll see what happens. I don't know what Punk said, like, oh, I have a couple months on my time. Like that doesn't really mean anything to me.
Right.
Like he could be telling the truth. He could be like, yeah, well, hey, a couple months, hey, you may see me somewhere else. Or he just, saying it, just say it, and just keep his name relevant, name in the news, and all that stuff. So it could be that too. So, it is interesting. I know we asked this question already. Daniel, do you want to see CM Punk in WWE? But at this point in time, I will say in the next, let's say 4 months from now, 5 months from now, do you think CM Punk will be back in WWE?
I'm going to say yes. I think this is probably the perfect time to bring it back to WWE because there's so much you can do. I mean, because again, I'm just playing, doing like armchair detective. For all we know, they're already working out a deal. For all we know, maybe he didn't have a non-compete clause like you just said. Or, talking about the non-complete clause. Like, maybe they're working out a deal. Maybe they already signed, and they just want to keep things hush-hush, and they know Phil, like I say it like I know him. They know Phil is gonna, be cheeky and, fuck with people. And say, maybe I will. Maybe I'll be somewhere in 2 months. You don't know. So, I mean, CM Punk has always been good at handling the media. Because... I've always said this about. I've always thought this about CM Punk. Like when he does promos, he reminds me more of like a insult comic, like a stand-up comedian. He knows how to talk shit. He knows how to give it back, and he knows how to take it. Well, sometimes, but he's pretty good at that. So I think he'll be back. Whether he comes back at Survivor Series, however they book that, whether he comes back at the Rumble. Or maybe just save him for the night after Mania. I don't know. Like, who knows? But
right.
It's again. I think the title for the show should just, or the title of this episode should just be, wait and see. Like, because a lot of this shit just seems like it's hearsay, it's rumors, and rumors can be fun.
It is wait and see on a lot of the news stories this week. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. It's a wait and see approach. So it's really about it for CM Punk. Another big star that could possibly be coming to WWE is Miss Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill had a match yesterday for Rampage. Well, it wasn't live because Rampage isn't live, but it was taped against Chris Statlander. And it is believed that she'll be exiting AEW and going to WWE. In the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer reported that those in WWE were under the belief that Cargill was coming in on the main roster rather than reporting WWE NXT. It is also reported that Cargill's name had been talked about a lot in WWE, but that deal was not yet complete despite some feeling the news came out of the blue. The money that WWE would pay to sign Cargill is said to be more than a developmental deal. While she obviously possesses the star look and athletic ability, her skill set and experience level are not that of a main roster talent. With that being said, WWE has talent that can help her look better if she does end up on Raw or SmackDown. Cargill would also likely wrestle more matches, travel more, and have more exposure on the main roster if she still wanted to pursue outside opportunities like acting. And just talks about her career. So, I would be fine with Jade Cargill coming to WWE because... I mean, again, was I her biggest fan in AEW? I was not. I thought she was not very good. If she comes to WWE, they're going to make her... I mean, she already looks like a star. She has the look that they want. But she obviously needs to get better. But you have the talent here that can make her look better. That can help her get better. And, like, one of my many, criticisms about AEW is that they don't have house shows. They don't do enough traveling. Well, maybe soon. But, like... With WWE, they give a lot of...
They can barely fit in, but, to AEW's not necessarily credit, but they can barely get people to come to fucking, Dynamite. Like, imagine fucking house shows.
Yeah,
know how much money they'll fucking waste?
Yeah, it's still... But anyways, with WWE, she can get that exposure. She can get that exposure and know how to work with different crowds, and obviously, much, much, much better talent. The biggest travesty with the women's division is that there's really not a lot of good talent. There's good talent, but it's very few and far between. Well, just my opinion. But her coming to WWE, I think, would be good. Just more talent. And she looks like a star. She looks like $1 million. She just needs to tune up a little bit in the ring. But what do you think about Jade Cargill possibly coming to WWE? Where do you see her on the main roster?
You know what I'm seeing on social media that I'm really starting to get fucking sick and tired of. Fake fuckers.
Yeah,
that's what I'm getting sick and tired of. And what I mean by that is that if let's say you're a WWE stan, right? Or if you're an AEW stan, Jade Cargill coming to WWE, the WWE stans are like, oh my god, we will love her. She's such a big star. She'll come on over and da 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 da. 4 or 5 months ago, you hate her. You didn't like her. Oh, she's in AEW. She sucks. She's bland. She's boring. She sucks in the ring and this, that, and the other. And same thing for AEW stands where get a WWE guy to come on over there. Oh, Roderick Strong fucking sucks at NXT. Oh, I love Roderick Strong now. Oh my god, he's back. He's back to the back-breaking Messiah. Like, guys, stop it. Please stop it. I get you got, you have one person that you like and, or one, not one person, but you like one company versus the other. I totally get it. I understand it. Like, I fucking hate the Houston Rockets. I fucking hate the Dallas Mavericks. Those scummy sons of fucking bitches. Sorry. But seriously though, it's like, if you're gonna like somebody, like them. Don't become a fan of them just because they're possibly coming to your company. You know what I mean? If you hate somebody, okay, great, hate them. But you know what I mean? Like, just don't turn heel on them or don't turn babyface on them just because they're coming to your company, or don't start hating them because they're leaving your company, go to the other company. Like when fucking Cody left. Fucking AEW went to WWE. There's people that hate Cody, and now they love him again. It's like, what the fuck? Like, come on. But as far as Jade is concerned, she'll be perfect in WWE. To me, as far as on the AEW side, I look at it two sides. This is a huge loss for AEW because this is their second biggest women's wrestler over there. Her and Britt, those are the two biggest stars over there. That, and also at the same time, it's not really a big loss for AEW because outside of the TBS time, what did they do with her?
Nothing.
They didn't do shit with her. They didn't really do anything with her. So WWE, they know exactly what to do with her. Now, if I'm WWE, I know they want to bring her in. They want to put her on the main roster. I'll put her in NXT. Now, the only thing is, if she goes to NXT, I think she'll overshadow a lot of the talent down there. I think they probably don't want to have that, which I get it. I understand it. But I think that her going to NXT will probably give her a little bit more career longevity at the end of the day. But who knows? Who knows that she wants to actually do this for a very long time? She probably wants to come to WWE, go to the main roster, be up there for a few years, make her money, and maybe go to Hollywood or something like that, which I have no issues with. If she wants to do that, that's her main goal, is to, get to Hollywood roles and things of that nature. Hey, good for her. But, there's a lot that they can do with her, right? Obviously you got your fantasy matchups: Jay versus Rhea, Jay versus Raquel, Jay versus Charlotte, Jay versus Bailey. You got all those there. But with her coming in, possibly coming in, it's a huge thing. And also as well, I don't know if you said this, Drew, but basically they were saying that her from PW Insider. This is from AEW sources, that the belief is that Jade Cargill's current AEW deal expires as soon as this week. So if her contract expires as soon as this week, she can possibly show up on Raw on Monday, or show up at NXT on Tuesday or show up on SmackDown on Friday. Now, do I think that's going to happen? Probably not. Probably not that soon, but it can happen. But yeah, it's a big deal. If she comes over there to WWE, it's a huge deal. This is my only request. Have her go to Raw.
Okay.
Can't have her on SmackDown. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because Bianca Belair is on fucking SmackDown. Keep those two apart. That's my only thing. Keep them apart for at least, a while. You know what I mean? 6 months to a year. Because obviously the two, they are very similar. Very, very similar. Because, how can you be, as far as Bianca Belair, she's the EST, right? She's the strongest, the fastest, the toughest, the roughest. That's kind of looking kind of, in the eye of the casuals, it's kind of looking, kind of not so much when Jade is around. So just keep her away from Bianca. That's all I can say. Unless they come together, form an alliance. When that match happens, it will be dynamite. No pun intended. It will be dynamite. But Jade is coming to WWE. It's only positive for WWE. Period. It's only positive for WWE at the end of the day. So I'm for it. And not even just her. Fucking Kyrie's coming back too, most likely. So there's that too.
Kyrie. Two other AEW names that are apparently linked to WWE. WWE said to have huge interest in Ricky Starks once his contract runs up, whenever that is. I'm all for that because I love Ricky Starks. There's also that Cody connection, kind of like with Jade, because I believe Jade is one of Cody's students, if I'm not mistaken. And then another one of Cody's guys, Wardlow. His contract is said to be running up sometime by the end of the year.
It's a domino effect. It's a domino effect.
Which, again, it's just Wardlow, I've said it before, he looks like a star. He looks like somebody that should be on WWE television. This guy, once upon a time, was Goldberg. He was getting over, and then everything happened. So, I mean, if he comes in a WWE, Vince McMahon, Triple H look at him, they're like, he's Batista. He's our next Batista. Ricky Starks, as far as his success will go, he'll be a star. As far as what kind of star, world champion, more than likely not. But he's gonna be huge on their roster.
I disagree with that. Probably not in the next year or so, but in the next 5 to 6 years, because Ricky Starks is young. You know what I mean? He has a good 20 years left. Not 20 years left, but it probably maybe a good 15, because he's in his early 30s, so he can. I really think that if he comes to WWE, he can have a 15-year run. I know within that 15 years, he'll have one fucking title. Even Mark Henry got a fucking title. You know what I mean? So
right.
So I could definitely see that. Probably not in the first few years, but down the road.
Right.
Now let me ask you this real quick. So, potentially Wardlow, potentially Jade, potentially Ricky. Where do you want them to debut on? NXT or the main roster? We'll start off with Jade. Main roster or NXT?
I think she should go through NXT first because she really needs the training. But it wouldn't surprise me if WWE decide to hotshot her on the main roster. Because, again, she looks...
Right. I mean,
she
will be on the main roster.
Right.
If she's coming in, she will be on the main roster. Personally, I will have her go to NXT first. Not for long, right? Kind of maybe 6 months. 6 months is okay. 6 months, and just utilize that time, that 6 months, to just bring her up.
Right, and also, we've said time and time again that women's roster in NXT is really fucking good. So
it's stacked.
You put her in the ring with fucking Tiffany. You put her in the ring with Thea. You put her in the ring with Gigi, with JC. Everybody else in that division. They're gonna make her look like $1 million, and she'll have some of the best matches she's ever had. So, personally, I think everybody should go through NXT. I mean, depending on who you are. Obviously,
even AJ Styles. AJ Styles, when he first came to WWE, was because he wasn't used to the WWE side. He's I should have went to NXT for a few months before I came up to the main roster. But he he grew into it. But Ricky Starks, if he were to come to WWE, NXT or main roster?
NXT. Their main event title scene needs a lot of stars because all you have is Braun and Mello. And
Mello, Dragunov.
I mean, and to make you happy, I'll say Vaughn. I'll say Vaughn Khali.
I mean, come on, man. He's fucking WrestleMania main event. What are you talking about?
WrestleMania, Von Wagner. But yeah, their main event title scene needs work. I mean, yeah, they got Brian Pillman, but it's just like it's not enough. It's not enough. Like he's decent, but he wasn't the biggest star in AEW. I mean, maybe he could be a bigger star in WWE, but who knows? But
I'm not saying it's not enough because it's Brian Pillman. I'm saying it's not enough because you need more than just one person. You need like 4 or 5 people. So
yeah, Ricky Starks definitely put him on NXT.
And what about Wardlow?
I'm gonna say NXT.
Yeah, I agree.
Because Braun's gonna be going to the main roster soon. You need some big hosses. And, again, I like Wardlow, but, again, Wardlow needs to kind of get tuned up a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
I would bring him in as a heel. I mean, I know people are probably going to cheer him, but, like, if you do it the right way, like, make him a heel, and bring in Ricky, maybe as a face. I think Ricky would probably be a good face coming in. But I don't know. It's kind of... I mean, I know we didn't even get Jade. It's not even confirmed that Jade's actually coming to WWE, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
All right, so since we're on the topic of AEW wrestlers with their contracts, so MJF, since 2022, 2021, has been talking about the bidding war of 2024.
It was like 2020. He's been doing that.
All right, Jesus Christ. So, I don't know the exact date. I'm gonna say it's anywhere between maybe the beginning of January, maybe towards the end. So, let's say WWE does hire MJF. Where do you see him going? NXT or the main roster?
Oh, main roster? No, that's not even a question. That's a main roster, 100%.
Okay,
no questions asked. Like, no, no. Him in NXT just won't even feel right.
I mean, it'd definitely pop a rating, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, if they bring him in, do you think they automatically have him feud with Cody or have him like align with Cody, or what do you think they do?
Why? Why does it have to be Cody immediately? I mean, it'll get there eventually. It doesn't they're
boys.
It doesn't mean okay. Cody came back. He didn't align with Randy Orton immediately.
Well, I mean, I think it makes more sense for MJF because MJF has been very vocal about Cody. He's been vocal saying Cody's, he'll text me advice and we'll talk on a daily. He's my best friend. So
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it right out the gate. Why hotshot it or like just right out the gate? Like, right. No, like give some time, let it marinate.
Well, I say mainly because I think it would acclimate him to the WWE audience a lot more to say that, hey, I'm Cody's best friend. Cody's known me for years. I'm his scumbag. And then Cody can be like, yeah, he's a scumbag, but he's my scumbag.
How come it can't be anybody else but Cody? Maybe it could be someone like a Cena, one off with Cena, or maybe someone like Jey Uso's popular right now, right? Hey, you do a Jey Uso. It doesn't have to be Cody immediately. Right. Eventually the feud should be there, of course, but I don't think that should be like the very first thing. Like, to me personally, I just don't think. I think you need to build, not like MJ needs building, but like build up MJF and make him very hot. Then when you decide to have that feud with Cody, it will draw even more money. I think you're not going to draw as much money if you just do it immediately.
I also think with MJF, you don't have to worry about him not being able to make himself interesting to people, because he's a really good talker. He's entertaining. I mean, I'm enjoying the face stuff with him because he's shown that he can be a human being. When he was doing the, I'm depressed about everything and I want to kill myself and I almost killed my ex-girlfriend. I'm like, where the fuck is this leading to? You know, I mean, I don't mean to laugh about it, but it's just like, what the fuck is this shit? Now that he's, you know, with Adam Cole, he's shown the human side of him, and he's over as a babyface, and I kind of it stays that way, but we'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. You know, the whole Cody thing, like, he needs to get himself over. He can't just rely on Cody to get him over. I mean, he can rely on the endorsement of Cody, but as far as like him being this big mega star, that I'm going to assume that WWE is going to offer him the max contract and offer him all the money he wants.
Absolutely.
Him
having interaction with Cody, like, I'm not saying for him not to never have any interaction with Cody, but I'm talking about like a feud, first feud, right out the gate, like, no. But like him backstage or him, like, backstage across the show, hey, welcome to WWE, and something like that. Okay, that's fine. But like just a full out feud, fucking first thing in, like, no, like let's not come all over the place.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like let's not blow our load immediately. Let's kind of calm down for a second. Let's let MJF and build himself up.
Another factor I think comes into play is that AEW, I think, because I think whatever money WWE offers them, maybe Tony will be able to match it. I mean, probably not, because they just made a shit ton of money, but we'll see. But I think AEW would allow MJF to be more of himself, because I think if there's that fear, if he goes to WWE, they're gonna maybe water him down a little bit. So again, we don't know, because like MJF strikes me as someone
he will be watered down. He will be watered down. I still think he'll be entertaining enough. You know what I mean? It'll be like, okay, MJF's still MJF. Maybe like not AEW MJF, but he's still MJF. You know what I mean? Like Cody is still Cody. Maybe like not like AEW Cody, but he's still Cody at the end of the day. Like it's that same character. You know what I mean? It's still the American Nightmare. I can still see that with MJF.
I think Cody is still Cody somewhat from AEW, but he has somebody else booking him. When he was in AEW, he was booking himself. Then when he got to WWE, he had somebody booking him. Because like for me, I always thought of it like this way: when Vince McMahon tells you to tone down the corniness, then you know you were being corny. That's just how I see it.
When was it? When was Cody corny in AEW?
Do I need to bring up the "I have a dream, I solved racism" Cody Rhodes speeches?
I mean, that was fucking great, actually. But how's that corny though? What made that corny? Because he was telling the truth, and he was kind of, he felt a certain type of way, about having a beautiful black and white daughter, like.
You mean the first ever interracial baby to ever exist? Apparently.
Hey, Cody ended racism, and I'm totally fine with that.
Okay, fine, fair enough. But I don't know. Cody's point is Cody's doing fine. But with MJF, there's that worry. Maybe that's a worry for him, is that WWE won't let him be him.
You just can't cuss all the fucking time.
No, I was about to say that. Like I think if they just tell him, listen, you can be you, you just can't say fuck or shit or, make any sexual innuendos. But you can still be you. Like a peachy...
but who knows, though? But who knows? Like, with this whole thing with Endeavor, they may just let him start cussing on TV. We don't know.
I mean, again, it's the whole...
if they get past that with... because if they go to Disney, absolutely not. But, like, if they go to Amazon, and they're on Amazon, Prime or whatnot, that... They don't have no FCC regulations, to my knowledge, because it's online. So
the moral of this episode is wait and see. We'll definitely have to wait and see. Okay, so there's that. This is another story. It's kind of one of those things of just like it happened, but like so the Brent Borough Council. AW's all-in turnstile count at Wembley Stadium was 72,265. AEW announced the total paid attendance for the 2023 AEW All-In Pay-Per-View event was 81,035, which was said to be a new record for a wrestling event. The Brent Borough Council, which is the local authority for the London Borough of Brent and Greater London, England, was asked about the official and accurate attendance for All In. Here was the response. The actual numbers registered entering Wembley Stadium through the turnstiles was 72,265. This is reflective of what attended on the night and not the total number of tickets sold or no shows, etc. Twitter account at WrestleTick's final estimate of tickets distributed for All In was 83,131. Was told by a source that a typical AEW event has a drop count, also known as a turnstile count. That is about 80% to 90% of the paid attendance or tickets distributed, and it was noted that 72,265 is 89% of 83,131. According to Arlington Police, the turnstile count for WWE's WrestleMania 32 in 2016 in Arlington, Texas was 80,709. It's unclear how suite attendees were factored into either event. So, before I really get into anything, so I know Wrestling Soup talked about it. There was somebody on the show who said that, who kind of brought that up. Like, what about people that scalpers. Are well, not scalpers, but people sitting in suite sections, like suite boxes or whatever. And maybe that's true too, but
that doesn't make up 10,000 people, though.
I know, but like, I'll say this: 72,265 is still impressive.
Absolutely.
Especially for a company known as the secondary promotion in one of the biggest, stadiums in the world, a stadium that fucking Queen played at, other huge rock bands played at. So, hey, whether it's 72,000 or 80,000, it's still impressive. So I'm not going to be the AEW hater in this equation. That's still very impressive.
Yeah. So yeah, at the end of the day, that 72,000, but like, you got people online, again, just people who just want to see AEW fail, and they're like, oh yeah, see, it's our record. Well, okay, the tickets were still the tickets, and they were still bought and paid. So I think the tickets that were bought. Now, my thing is that is still a huge difference of people who did not show up. Close to 10,000 people. Now, let me ask this. I've thought about this, and maybe it's possibly scalpers, people who buy on the secondary, buy on the market, and they probably didn't sell on the secondary market. Now, 10,000 is a lot. Or it could be Tony Khan.
Yep.
Tony Khan buy, 10,000 fucking tickets. But to me, it's like, well, why would he do that? Like, why would he take his own money out of pocket, just to get a record? Like, that, like, to me, that doesn't really make any sense. And even at that, too, let's say Tony Khan did do it. Let's just say he bought 10,000 tickets, right? What is Tony Khan kind of known for? Not kind of known for, but, like, what's a trait of him?
What's a trait of him?
Yeah, what's a good trait of Tony Khan you can think of?
One that doesn't involve cocaine. Opening up his checkbook, that's one of many things. He likes to spend money.
Well, but he's an analytic guy, for one. He's an analytic guy. But also, as well, AEW, in the short time AEW's been around, they've done a lot as far as like for things like for the communities and charities and things of that nature. The very first Fight for the Fallen was for against gun violence in Jacksonville. Then they did the Brody Lee tribute, and they hired Amanda Huber as an employee, and they've done many things. So if Tony Khan would have bought the tickets, would you think Tony Khan would at least gave a lot of those tickets to maybe like the Boys and Girls Club or something like that in London to get these kids to come out to watch some wrestling, or maybe give it to families in need, not in need, but like saying that like wrestling can save them and whatnot, but like families who couldn't afford to go to the show and give it to them? Like, why would you not just do that? So the whole thing about Tony Khan, buying the tickets, I personally don't believe that. You know what I mean? Maybe bought a few, but like probably not to that amount. I'm really thinking it comes down to secondary market and scalpers, and they just couldn't sell them in time. So, that's my opinion.
But like there are also people that were actually at the show that was showing that there were a lot of missing seats. Not to the extent of like, an AEW Dynamite or a Rampage or anything like that, but like there were some, seats that were empty throughout the whole show. So I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. I think it's very possible that Tony Khan did, buy a lot of seats. Why? And you made a good point about why didn't Tony just like give them out to like, charities, kids who like wrestling, whatever. I don't know. I mean, maybe Tony's been very much, in the mindset of fuck WWE, and I just want to prove that I got a bigger dick than them. So maybe that's why he wanted to fill it up. That's just a theory. It's just a theory I have. So.
Right. But just real quick, but Tony Khan, like, he wants to, in his, not his own words per se, but like just his actions on how he builds his wrestling company versus WWE's. He's more of like, I don't want to do anything like Vince McMahon. I don't want to like, be compared to Vince McMahon. And with him buying the tickets and not, let's say he did, and not do anything, give it away, then that's very Vince McMahon-like. I just don't think he wants to be in that same breath for situations like this. Like I said, it could be a mixture of both. It could be a mixture of both between the scalpers and maybe him buying tickets too. So, but I just don't see, like, again, like if he were to buy tickets, like why wouldn't he give a lot of those away? I just don't understand it. So,
well, he's a billionaire and he's also a wrestling promoter. So, take your pick. But so there's that story. I have a few more stories. They're kind of like nothing burgers. So I'll just start with The Rock. The Rock says The Rock on Friday afternoon was on the Pat McAfee show while they're in Denver, Colorado for Deion Sanders' team. Was it University of Colorado?
Yep. And
The Rock came out. I saw a video of it where like I don't think people expected The Rock to be there, especially Deion Sanders. When The Rock came out, Deion Sanders was marking out. Like he was
from today, yeah.
He's like, oh, that's my guy. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool seeing Deion Sanders mark out for The Rock. So The Rock came out. Pat McAfee asked him about him and Roman Reigns from WrestleMania this past year, actually, for WrestleMania 39. He said The Rock headlining WrestleMania with Roman Reigns at SoFi Stadium. That was locked. We were doing it, but let me just tell you, so about the beginning of 2022, Nick Khan, very good friend, he's the man. He was very instrumental in bringing Vince and I together. We flew to LA, we met, we sat. That was the beginning of 2022. We broke out the Terramina. We toasted life. We toasted the business we love. About an hour later, we started talking about the potential of what this match could be between myself and Roman Reigns headlining at SoFi. The Rock continued. We shook hands and we hugged there, all three of us at the table, and said, let's do this. So then we had a year to really think about this. So the North Star of that thought was, okay, let's not do something good. Let's not do something great. Let's do something unprecedented. It was in what can we create for the fans that has never been done before. A match, great, Roman, incredible athlete. He's going to be on Mount Rushmore, super handsome, my good dude, my cousin, family, amazing. We can have that match, but the bigger the thought was, what can do for the fans and for the business that we love, where WrestleMania isn't the end of something. It's actually the beginning of something bigger. What happened? The Rock stated that they couldn't nail down what the thing was in terms of the story they wanted to tell. So we got really, really close, but we couldn't actually nail what that thing was. So we decided to put our pencils down. We agreed, hey, listen, there's a merger coming up, especially what that will happen. There's WrestleMania in Philly. He raised the eyebrow. I'm saying that's a potential too. I'm open to it. I'm open. And there's more. But again, let's figure out what that is, because the fans deserve something just incredible and unprecedented. Not only that, but I also want to deliver to the locker room and to the boys and girls in the back who are there working their asses off what we can do to put them in a position, but they're part of something that is a new change, an era, in this world of pro wrestling. Again, Vince is a big picture thinker. As you know, this is why we've gotten along for years, just trying to think big picture. So we'll see. End quote. So, what do you gauge from anything that The Rock said there? Hello.
Oh, sorry. My bad. I don't know how my mic got muted. Absolutely nothing. Nothing.
All right.
Nothing at all. Okay, so, there could have been the match was, potentially locked, was locked in. Okay, great. Didn't happen. All I can look at is for the future. He's somewhat back now. Maybe we'll see. You know what I mean? Like, to me, it only felt like, for the evening last night. But if this potential writer strike, if this strike is still going to be happening, maybe The Rock could stay around for a while. I'll tell you this: the longer that The Rock's around, the more, Jesus Christ, the more Cody is starting to feel that pressure on him. I'm saying that now because if you get Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania, maybe they could do a 2-night thing where Roman, versus Rock night 1 and night 2, Roman versus Cody. They could probably do something like that, maybe.
Which I pitched that like years ago. The idea, the idea is that you have again Roman and Rock night 1, and the very next night is Cody and Roman. And again, like you just said, a lot of pressure on Cody. And Roman's whole thing is, I just beat you last year. I already beat you last year, and I just beat The Rock. I've beaten everybody they put in front of me. What exactly are you going to do to me that you haven't done already, and that nobody else has done to me? And then Cody just, like, I guess it sounds kind of silly to say, he's a brand new Cody. Like, he's a different Cody from last year. He's more focused, and he's ready. He can say, I thought I was ready last year, but I really wasn't. I was too cocky and full of myself, and I wasn't ready for you. Now I'm ready for you. And that, the story with Roman, Cody can say, remember what I said last year? Remember what I said, what you were going to lose? Well, where are we at now? Look what I've gained and look what you lost. So, they can easily do that. It'd be good for, both shows. It'd be good for Roman, good for The Rock, and good for Cody. In my opinion.
Right. But again, it's like, okay, let's say that Rock does agree to have a match with Roman, right? Let's say Rock has the match with Roman. Then let's say CM Punk comes back too. You got a lot of fucking situations there. Like, for one thing, CM Punk's biggest thing, or one reason why he left WWE, he didn't ever have a WrestleMania main event. So, there's a lot of things here because, like, night 1, like, you open with Roman and Rock, main event, CM Punk and maybe Stone Cold, then finish night 2 with Cody and Roman. So you could probably do it. It could probably happen, but it's like, let's say, then you're going to probably get something else like, the women didn't, have a main event last year in the Nights of WrestleMania. Then it's going to probably come into that too. It's going to, so I don't know. There's a lot going on right now with this. With Rock coming back last night. Again, for me, it felt like kind of what they did felt like a one night thing. Yeah. That's what it felt like to me. It felt like it was just a one night thing. I may be wrong, but that's what it felt like because he wasn't involved in the main event whatsoever. He didn't come out to help Cena or anything like that, or AJ came out, which because right now that's the story. AJ in the bloodline, and AJ possibly going up against Roman and all that stuff. So I get that. So that why Rock didn't come out, but I don't know.
Let me ask you something. So you brought up Cena because I know Cena has brought up retirement recently. Because he's going to be here until the 27th, might even be a little longer, depending on how long the writer strike lasts. And he brought up retirement, saying, basically saying, I don't know when it is, but it's going to be soon. So, I don't know how I feel about this. What if at Mania, for a retirement match, they can do Cena and Punk? as a Cena retirement match.
I'm okay with that. Main event, night one.
Well, yeah. I mean, why not? I mean, because Cena is one of the biggest stars for the company, and Cena can go out, wrestling. In my opinion, probably his biggest foe. Put over Punk. Give Punk that. I would say yes, because like between him and like Edge, for example, with Punk, I think it felt.
09 was fucking banger matches between like Cena and Orton.
I would say top
That's
three. Top three feud. Okay, I would say top three feud, but in my opinion,
That's fair.
I think Punk was a bigger feud because it felt personal. Like when you heard Punk say, I don't like Cena, but I respect him. That sounds legit, and because they both represent, almost like they're not mirror images, but like the opposite of each other. Like Punk is, Cena was always a company guy. Like he was everything that the company wanted, and Punk was everything the company didn't want.
I think Cena's best feud is with Punk.
Yeah,
I think Cena's best feud was with Punk, but I think Cena's definitive feud, when you think of like fucking Ultimate Warrior, who's Ultimate Warrior's biggest feud? Hulk Hogan, WrestleMania 6. Like people will put that out there, right? You know what I mean? So that like when I think John Cena, like who's John Cena's biggest opponent? You know what I mean? His yin to his yang to me is Randy Orton. Like
I wholeheartedly disagree. I'm gonna say Edge is probably the one feud that kind of put him on the map, and I'll explain why. Because
I didn't say that Orton put him on the map. You're right. Edge did put him on the map. But what I'm saying is, when I think of like Cena's like biggest feud, or not necessarily best feud, but like his definitive feud, to me is Orton.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm not gonna argue with you. Those are his top three feuds. With Orton, I always kind of akin them to Austin and Rock in a sense where you have one of the biggest stars in the company, and you have one of the youngest rising generational talents in the company. So it was only a matter of time before they actually had a big feud, and they had memorable matches. They always had good chemistry. I mean, personally, I always thought something was missing from their matches, and I can't really think of what that was to really say that's his greatest feud, but I think what always made that work was they were both OVW guys. Like they were, one of the biggest, guys out of OVW. People always said that Orton was maybe the best workhorse. I mean, next to Shelton Benjamin, but like, one of the biggest stars and also, the best workhorse, out of OVW. And Cena was, a guy who it was only a matter of time before he became the biggest star in the company. So I think with Edge, the feud with Edge, I think showed a side of Cena that he needed at that time. Because, before that, we just knew Cena as, Thugonomics guy, and he was slowly slipping into Super Cena, and he wasn't really tested. I think with Edge, it really showed a side of Cena. Kind of like with Mankind and Shawn Michaels, where they had the, the hardcore match at Mind Games?
Yeah.
Shawn needed that push to kind of show that he had a tougher side, and that TLC match with Edge at Unforgiven, Cena needed that. He needed that to show that he can work a tougher style, that he could take the bumps and do the hardcore stuff. But with Punk, I think that was his greatest feud. And the match at Money in the Bank, 2011 July 17th, my 22nd birthday. That match still holds up. That's one of the greatest. That's probably my favorite match of all time.
Oh yeah, if that's your favorite match of all time, that's perfectly fine.
Right,
that match is fantastic.
A lot of the better feuds always are, to me, they work when they feel real. And with Punk and Cena, it worked because it felt real. Because you can tell with Punk, he had resentment towards John. I mean, he's always said straight up, I always liked John personally, because John, doesn't really take his push that seriously because he knows he's a top guy and nothing's going to hurt him. as opposed to everyone else. But like, you can tell there was resentment towards him because he's like, you know what, I deserve that spot. You know, I do twice as much work as I do the amount of work he does, probably even more, and I could be in that spot. I'm better than him. So, but you know, just I digress. But what the fuck are we talking about? Oh yeah, I was saying, you know, CM Punk and Cena could be a night one WrestleMania event with, you know, it being Cena's retirement match.
Yeah.
You know, and
that's fine. Yeah.
Giving Punk, you know, his WrestleMania moment. So his WrestleMania main event moment. So there you go.
Yeah, if it's not Punk and Austin, Punk and Cena can work too. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a safe opponent for, you know, Cena, and, you know, safe opponent for Punk. So there you go. WWE announces date and location for 2024 Royal Rumble. It will be in Tampa Bay, Florida, at the can't talk today. St. Petersburg's Tropicana Field, home of the Major League Baseball's Tampa Bay Rays, holding the Royal Rumble on Saturday, June 27th. 2 nights later, WWE Raw will occur in Tampa proper at the Amalie Arena. It'll be the second time WWE has had the Royal Rumble in Tampa Bay. The first time was in '95. That year, it happened in the USF Sundome. Shawn Michaels entered at number 1 and won his first of 2 Rumbles. And then, of course, when WWE hosted the Thunderdome for Raw and SmackDown. So, any thoughts on? Go ahead.
No, just good for Tampa. I mean, yeah.
I was about to ask. Yeah, that'd be cool. It'd be a pretty big event. And lastly, I guess this is kind of a segue into NXT. Becky Lynch drives WWE NXT to the best ratings numbers in 3 years. Becky Lynch gave WWE NXT a big-time boost in its viewership and TV ratings, driving the show to highs it has not seen in years. Data published by WrestleNomics shows Tuesday night's episode drew an average of 850,000 viewers overall, a 26% increase from last week's episode. The total viewership Tuesday is the most the program has seen or had since October 28, 2020. That was Halloween Havoc. I looked it up. 335,000 of those viewers were in the coveted key demographic of people aged 18 to 49. That equals to a .26 P1849 rating and 40% increase from last week, and the highest for NXT since September the 1st of 2020. So I guess we can just jump into that already. So the main event of NXT this past Tuesday was Tiffany Stratton defending the Women's Championship against Becky Lynch. The feud basically started when Tiffany Stratton called out Becky Lynch, saying that she was never mistaking her for being an NXT Women's Champion, and Becky replied saying, I was never the champion, and Tiffany was like, oh, my bad, and just basically starting some shit. So Becky showed up on NXT on a Titantron, or on the screen, I guess, and said, I accept your challenge. So the main event was this past Tuesday. Pretty good match. You know, the best match I've seen Tiffany have, and you know, we've always said this about Becky. You know, regardless of how you think about her character, maybe she's kind of teetered off a little bit as far as like being massively over, like she was, you know, 4 or 5 years ago. You know, she's still over, and people really do like her, and she gets a reaction, and she's big match Bex for a reason. And I thought the match was really good. I've had time to kind of fester over how I feel about it. I mean, I already know how you feel about it, or maybe I don't. I don't know, but I'll just say straight up, like at first, I was kind of in the camp of your thinking of why take the belt off of Tiffany to give it to another main roster person. But I kind of still feel strongly about that, but like at the same time, it's, you know, Tiffany is still new, and I really do think maybe this does help her. Maybe sometime down the line she does kind of get that momentum back, or maybe gain more momentum against Becky. Maybe say at like towards the end of the year, maybe at, you know, the takeover for Mania. Who knows? Again, Tiffany is still new. Becky being there can not only help Tiffany, maybe can help the women's division. because they had a nice little segment with her, and was it Tara Valkyria? Is that her name?
Lyra Valkyria?
Lyra. Jesus Christ, I got her name wrong. Lyra Valkyria. They did something with was it Kiana James? I mean, maybe she can have matches with Roxanne, with Bettis, with Gigi Dolan, JC Jane. More than likely, if she does drop a title, it will maybe be in a triple threat, or I don't know. Maybe she'll lose it clean to Tiffany. Who knows? Maybe she can drop it back to Tiffany this Tuesday. As far as this Tuesday, who knows? But
that'll be retarded.
Which
if they do,
I know. I'm not saying I don't want that. I'm not saying I want that to happen. I'm just
right.
It's WWE, you know them. But like, I think this is done. Because I think we talked about this in the shop. I think I said it wouldn't surprise me if they did give it to Becky, because it's a way to help NXT, and also Nick Khan did say in an interview that they strongly want NXT to be that third brand. So I know it's weird when you look at the landscape of the title scene, is that 50% of it is main roster people. So on one hand, you have more eyes and ears to the product, with Dom there and now with Becky there. So I mean, it's good for NXT, good for NXT for popping a rating. Hopefully they can keep this momentum next week. But what's your whole opinion on Becky winning?
So as far as NXT is concerned, good for the rating, because NXT is my favorite weekly TV show. So I'm happy that they got the rating that they did. They deserve hopefully more of those eyes that saw NXT. Hopefully they stay around. That's number one. Terrible fucking decision. Terrible fucking decision. I'm gonna tell you why. A lot of people are saying like, well, you know what? This is gonna help the division. This is gonna help, Tiffany. This is gonna get Tiffany more over. Right? That's why I'm seeing on Twitter. You know what would get Tiffany more over? You know what would have helped Tiffany? If she would have beat Becky Lynch clean. That would have helped Tiffany, right? How come they couldn't? I mean, I know they don't want to have Becky to being clean, but if Becky were to lose cleanly to Tiffany, not even cleanly, but like if she would just lost to Tiffany, that would have been. This is what they should have done. Because right now, at this point in time, you just halted Tiffany's momentum. You halted Tiffany's momentum. If she wins the title back, let's say it's a triple threat match, she ain't gonna pin Becky. Becky ain't gonna get pinned in that match if it's a triple threat match and she loses the title. She ain't getting pinned. So if Tiffany ends up getting the title back, it's just gonna be another title reign that at that particular point in time that was unfucking necessary. But another thing too as well is that now a lot of people don't point this out, and I watch this show every fucking week, so I know this show like the back of my fucking hand. You know the real reason why they brought Becky down there to win the title? Obviously it's to pop a rating. Also, number two, you gotta sell a fucking arena for a pay-per-view. You gotta sell arena for a pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
And as of right now, you had Dom. Okay, now Dom's like he's involved in NXT. He's involved in all fucking 3 shows. Him and Rhea pretty much involved in all fucking 3 shows. But Becky is there to pop ratings and sell the fucking arena for the next NXT show. That's it. That's it. That's it right there. But this is what I would have done with Becky. This is what I would have done. I would have had a situation where at the end of the match, Becky goes for the pinfall or whatnot, gets dragged out of the ring by somebody. I prefer Blair Davenport. So that way Becky can shift her focus to Blair Davenport, have a one-on-one match at the pay-per-view. And in that sense, it will be better if Becky were to go over on Blair Davenport there, because a lot of times, if you lose to a big star in a big match that doesn't involve a title, typically you're better off for it. Typically, in most cases, depending on how it goes, right? And this could give Blair Davenport a little bit more exposure, and maybe she'll show up at Raw or whatnot and attack Becky or whatnot. That probably will happen. But instead, you just have a clean finish. You have a hot Tiffany Stratton, and you have Tiffany Stratton, who was champion for not that long, lose the title, only to possibly win the title back, and not to even pin Becky. So, is this really gonna help Tiffany Stratton at the end of the day? I don't think it is. I think Tiffany Stratton will still be the same as she is right now. We already know that she's great in the ring. We already know her biggest thing right now is I think her promos. I think her promos does need a little work. But no one thought that Tiffany couldn't go in the ring. We know that she can go in the ring, and being there with Becky just solidified it. If Tiffany would have beat Becky, that would make Tiffany even more of a star at that point in time. But WWE, they don't like to think outside the box. They don't like to, try things differently. They're scared of what may or may not happen. If Becky will have lost, no matter what, I think the Blair Davenport thing to kind of protect Becky a little bit. You still gotta protect her a little bit. That would have done a lot better overall, because Tiffany's momentum is not halted at all. Then you can have 2 women's matches at the pay-per-view. You'll get to still have your Becky Lynch on the show. Tiffany is still champion. She's still, her momentum is still going, and you can have her go up against somebody else. But, this happens, and now we're kind of wondering what the fuck is going to happen with this NXT title. And again, I said it once, and I'll say it again, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, they have to be around this fucking belt. If they're not if they're not having a major feud with legends, they need, or being, in tag team feuds that still is kind of around of a championship type situation, they need to be champion. You know what I mean? So it is what it is at the end of the day, but we'll see what happens. Who's gonna take the title off Becky? I don't know, but I don't know. It's just not a good decision at the end of the day, in the grand scheme of things.
As far as the rest of NXT was a pretty good show. Other than the main event, Braun Breaker came out and they made a match at No Mercy between him and Baron Corbin. Yeah. So we got that to look forward to. Basically, just gloating about taking out your boy Vaughn. Unfortunately, Vaughn.
Yeah, this is just setting up for Wagner to come back at the pay-per-view. So
nice. Do you think he should enter in from the heavens, being the god that he is?
I mean, he should come down and actually his new gimmick should be he is Jesus Christ, but it'll be Von Christ.
Taking Cody's old gimmick.
There you go.
Awesome. Wesley, the show opened with Wesley and Ilya for the number 1 contenders.
Fucking damn good match.
Great match, as anyone would have expected. Ilya getting the win. Ilya is now challenging Carmelo Hayes for the NXT Championship at No Mercy, which will be in 2 weeks from today, actually. Again, as expected, really good match between the two. I was kind of thinking it'd be like a screw finish, like they both get counted out and they just make it a triple threat, but they're doing something with Wes. Afterwards, Wes quit NXT, left with his wife. So, I mean, what do you think that's going exactly?
He's probably going to be gone until pay-per-view time. He may come back. I don't know if he'll come back as a heel or whatnot, but he may come back with more of an edge at this point. So, yeah. The only thing I don't like about Wesley's character, because they make him not like a whiner per se, but it's kind of like, oh,
woe's me,
poor me, you know what I mean? But it's a minor thing though. Overall, I really do like Wesley. I really do like what he's doing. So, but that's just one little minor detail though.
All right, so the rest of the show I'm kind of blank on. I know Gigi attacked Blair Davenport, so they're doing something with that. JC Jane is showing Thea how to be a bad girl.
They're gonna change wardrobe next week, so we'll see how that goes.
She took her to her club, which happened to be in the same backstage area as NXT. So I'm like, all right. and then they beat up two guys.
NXT. Club Performance Center, you know.
There you go. They beat up two guys at a club. So there you go. The show overall was really good. NXT, like we always say, is the best show that WWE currently has. I mean,
it's so easy to watch.
It's easier to get into. I mean, SmackDown last night, apart from...
Oh, well, with the exception of SmackDown last night was fucking great, so...
Yeah. And we can just talk about SmackDown for a bit. I mean, we already know The Rock came out. There was already talk that, both The Rock and Pat McAfee were going to show up since, SmackDown was in Denver. And The Rock was in town, to do Pat McAfee's show at Colorado. The show opens with Pat McAfee coming out to address the crowd. Austin Theory comes out to talk a little bit of shit and says, "This is my show. SmackDown is the Austin Theory show." And Pat McAfee says, "This is the people's show. You know what that means?" And then the Rock's music hit, and the whole place, of course, they want Banana as an esteemed wrestling.
Pat
Patterson would say, and it's the Rock. To quote our good friend Kevin Castle, friend of the show, The Rock is basically the Elvis of wrestling. He can walk into any arena and get the biggest fucking pop, ever known to man.
Well, probably not on the probably not for black people when it comes to Elvis.
Well, I'm talking about the star, but like
I know,
star power. But yeah, he can come back, cut the same promo, throw his eyebrow up, and people are still gonna love it. So he came out, talked shit to Austin Theory, called him a bitch ass, and was able to command the crowd and said, this side's gonna say you are, and this side's gonna say an asshole, and then vice versa with each side. The only thing about the promo is that fucking Fox just they kept fucking with the audio. They kept censoring asshole, which I get, but it's like it's the crowd. Like
but it's FCC. It's I don't think Fox probably didn't want to do that. It's the FCC that is requesting that to be bleeped on airways like that. When it comes to like local airways like Fox and NBC, ABC, it's the FCC. So I'm pretty sure there was a fine, and I'm pretty sure The Rock probably paid. He probably didn't even give a shit. So there you go.
The Rock is one of very few guys in the company that can just do whatever the fuck he wants. he just comes and he's like, you know what, I can buy this company if I wanted to, but I'll pay your fines. Who gives a fuck? I wipe my ass with these fines. Yeah, he came out and beat up Austin Theory, gave him the people's elbow. Pat McAfee gave him the people's elbow, and that happened. Later on, there was a backstage segment with The Rock and Cena. It was funny. Pat McAfee said,
before we continue, I just want to,
yeah,
we're rushing over the segment, which is fine. Austin Theory. What does this say to you about Austin Theory?
Oh, I mean, Theory has really lost a lot of momentum since Mania, and which is funny because, the promo that Cena did with Theory saying, you might beat me, but then so what? Like, what's it gonna do for you? And they've really done nothing with Theory. So, with Theory, to me, is like he has everything that he needs to be a star, but there's something missing. Like, and I know, like, it kind of looks like maybe they're building up towards maybe him being a face. I mean, because they're pairing him with Grayson, so maybe that's his way of going face, is going up against a guy that people kind of universally hate. I mean, maybe not as much as Dom, but like they still hate him. So, on the flip side, maybe glass half full is that they trusted him enough to be in a segment with The Rock, and maybe The Rock wanted.
No. That's what I was looking for. Yes. Like, because Austin Theory, you gotta think about it. He was in segments with The Rock. John Cena had a match with John Cena. Mm-hmm. He was in segments, we remember, with the whole Vince McMahon on TV. He brought Vince McMahon, like, out of, not retirement per se, but out of retirement for being on TV. Austin Theory brought him back on TV. Yeah, so Vince McMahon, Stone Cold, Brock Lesnar. I think Austin Theory's fine. He's fine. They just need to WWE needs to do something for him, make something out of him somewhere, somehow, some way. I think he'll be a great babyface. Like if you've seen him, I don't know if you see him on Instagram or Twitter or whatnot, where he's interacting with kids or whatnot. Like, you know what I mean? Like kids that want to meet him or whatnot. Like, babyface, be a great babyface. So yeah, maybe babyface is the way to go for him. You know what I mean? The question is, I don't know if he's at the point where the fans want to cheer him. So that's the only thing. But again, Austin Theory being in that situation, he's in. I think he's in a good position. He's in a great position because like you just don't put anybody out there with The Rock at all.
Right.
So.
Right. I mean, they obviously like him and they want him to be a star, but something's missing. You kind of point on something interesting. Like him being a face is going to work, but in order to be a face, you need to get cheered. And at this point, I think Austin Theory kind of has more, what do you call it? Not indifference. Like he's getting indifference from the fans, and another shout out to Kevin Castle. For a wrestler, getting indifferent, responses from the fans is not good because that almost seems like
he's getting indifference. I think he's getting react. Indifference is just getting straight no reaction whatsoever. He gets reactions. It's boos, but which is what he wants. But I think this is what it is with Austin Theory.
Right.
I think this is the main thing that's going on with Austin Theory.
Mm-hmm.
They are not treating him as a threat.
Right.
He's no threat on anything. Like, at all. Because if you're a heel, either you gotta be supremely fucking immaculate on the microphone, where you get under people's skin, which is like The Miz, right? Or you gotta be that intimidating, badass, take no shit, hey, I'm gonna kick your ass, I'm not gonna cheat, whatever, which is like a Gunther, right?
Right.
Austin Theory doesn't really meet any of those modes, so he's good on the mic, but he's not like exceptional. His character is not a killer or whatnot. He does need to cheat to win sometimes, which is fine, but he needs to find something that he can really exploit and make sure that he's fucking great at. Where like to me right now, he's like a kind of like Dolph Ziggler.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying like he's as good as Dolph or as bad as Dolph, but he's kind of like Dolph Ziggler, where Dolph was getting reactions and things of that nature. People knew who Dolph Ziggler was, and there were some people who bought his merch and things of that nature. Same thing with Austin Theory. I had a kid today bought a fucking Austin Theory figure. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, I really want this Austin Theory figure. I was like, okay, get it, let's get it, whatever. But at the same time, it's like, but he's not doing anything exceptional. You know what I mean? That will take him to that next level. To me, right now, Austin Theory is where Dolph Ziggler was in fucking like 2011, 2012. Actually, before he won Money in the Bank. So that's why I feel. But they'll figure it out with him. I'm sure. He's super fucking young. He's still in his 20s, I believe. He's super fucking young. So they still have time for him.
I also think a problem with his heel character is that I don't believe what he's saying. It's like with Trish where I brought up what Don Tony had said about Trish, where it's like she comes off more as an actress trying to play a bad girl. Like that's what I kind of get from Austin Theory, is that he just seems like an actor trying to play a bad guy, and I don't buy it because, like you said, like you see on Instagram, he's posting pictures like doing Make-A-Wish visits with kids, and he's also a big nerd. Like he loves like Marvel comics and like he loves the Marvel movies, and you'll see him posting pictures where he's wearing like an Iron Man helmet.
Yeah, he also does like a pretty decent Joker impression.
That, and also RJ pointed this out to me. He came out as an extra in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Oh, and I saw that.
And it was
I saw that when the movie first came out.
Yeah, it was like a blink and you'll miss it cameo. I had to look it up. So
he was like in the back, just like with a group of people. Yeah.
That's when he had like shaggier hair and he had a soul patch, or no goatee. I mean, but I think Theory will be fine. But like him, I think the money is in him being a face. I think once that happens, he'll kind of get back to where he was.
Yep.
But what else are we missing? But yeah, there was a backstage promo with Rock and Cena where they just acknowledge each other, and Rock saying, "I can see you smiling," and they just hugged, and Cena said, "Welcome home." So it was a nice little interaction. The Bloodline stuff. Let's see. So technically it started with LA Knight. So LA Knight had the match with Miz, rematch from Payback. Pretty good match. LA Knight getting the win. Still over like a motherfucker. Gets on the mic.
Man, that's not going away anytime soon.
Yeah, that won't go away anytime soon. He gets on the mic. Basically just, kind of reiterates a promo that he said before where he says, "I came here to win titles," whether that's against Seth Rollins, Gunther, Rey Mysterio, or Roman Reigns. I'm coming for a title, essentially. So, kind of playing off of what happened last week with him and Paul Heyman, where Heyman, tells him, "I'm a big fan, but don't interrupt me again." And LA Knight says, "Oh yeah?" So, like, kind of planting the seeds on maybe an eventual matchup with LA Knight and, Roman, whenever that does happen.
Which I do not want to see whatsoever.
Why not?
Oh, boy. Because what's the end result of it?
Roman's going to win.
Okay. So why would you deflate LA Knight's momentum to go in the ring with Roman Reigns?
So you think LA Knight's momentum will end if he loses to Roman?
Not end per se, but like it will kind of take a little bit of a hit because there's fans out there like, "Oh, I want to see LA Knight, LA Knight, win a title, win something." Like they want to see him win the world championship. You know what I mean? Because he has that potential. Have him like one of the things he could do is possibly, not saying that he will, he could win the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe have him go up against Seth if he wins the Royal Rumble, because he ain't fucking being Roman. That's not fucking happening. That ain't gonna happen. He ain't being no fucking Roman Reigns. So why would you put him in that situation? So like, okay, so you have him go up against Roman, he loses. Then where does he go from there?
I mean, I'll just say this. He survived the feud with Bray, so I don't think his momentum is going to delay by losing to Roman.
Where does he go after he loses to Roman? Where does he go? What will be next for him?
I'm sure they'll find something for him to do because he's still gonna be over.
That's the issue there. They'll find something for him to do. How come he can't just go up against Seth Rollins?
I mean, you'd have to find a way to get him to Seth. I mean,
yeah, I get that, but like, how him go up against Seth? Or why does he even need to go after the World Heavyweight Championship or WWE Championship? How come he can't just go after the United States Championship first? Win that, lose it, then go to the World Heavyweight Championship or WWE Championship. Like, why are we? I mean, I know, like, I get it. I understand why there is a rush to push him. There's two ways of pushing people. There's a natural push and shoving them down your throat push. I'm not saying LA Knight by any means being shoved down your throat. I'm not saying that. Definitely not. What I am saying is you want to have longevity in these pushes. If you have him go up against Roman just to lose, it's gonna look at, and some of the fans' eyes like, "Oh man, like he's not really that big of a star after all." Even though we know that he's a big star and he's a huge star, we know that. But to some of the casuals, they're gonna be like, "Oh, he just lost against Roman." Like, "Oh man, like, you know what I mean?" Like, it's gonna kind of be like a disappointment to a lot of people. So I think that you should either have him win the United States Championship, Intercontinental Championship, whatever. Right? I'm not saying him to defeat Gunther either, but I'm just saying, like, if that situation happens with let's say Gable gets the title from Gunther and whatever, LA Knight can win it there, or they can have a situation with the United States Championship. Rey Mysterio is the champion right now. Maybe if you can have Santos Escobar turn heel, beat Rey, then have LA Knight win the United States title from Santos Escobar. Something. Just having the match with Roman right out the gate, yes, it helps him, but like it's not at the long. It basically, like, you're basically rushing the apex of whatever story that you're trying to tell with LA Knight. You're just rushing it, just to rush it. Like, so let's give him a title match.
Well,
he loses, then what?
It doesn't really look like they're rushing it because they're doing the thing with AJ. So, and I mean they talked about apparently Roman's next match is going to be at Saudi in November. So I'm assuming that's the AJ match.
That's probably AJ, yeah.
Because I know as far as I know, we're not getting a pay-per-view in December. So if I had to think logically,
Survivor Series, like LA Knight versus Roman Survivor Series, that could be a possibility that WWE wants to do.
Maybe Rumble. I don't know.
Maybe Rumble too. Yeah,
I'm just spitballing, but like because you said
maybe Rumble too. I mean, yeah, if they want to do that. I mean, honestly, I don't want LA Knight in a title match. I want him in the Rumble.
Well, I mean, same here because again he's the top merch seller in the company and he's the most over guy in the company. That's not Cody or Roman. So I'd prefer to see him in the Rumble. Maybe being like the final four in the Rumble.
Yeah,
so
definitely fine. He's definitely Final Four worthy. Like him, Gunther, Cody, and maybe Jey Uso. That could probably be the Final Four.
Let me ask you something else. So like with this LA Knight push, do you think WWE is kind of putting more tender loving care in this push than they did with Damian Sandow's push?
100% That's not even a question.
And I ask that mainly because do you think they look at that push like, oh, we fucked up. We can't fuck up with this guy.
Actually got the push. I mean, yeah, he won Money in the Bank, but like he wasn't being taken seriously.
But no, here's what I'm asking is like I look at the similarities. I mean, two different guys, but I look at the similarities of like people were genuinely cheering for him and they wanted him to be, bigger on the card.
But and even people generally cheering for fucking Rusev either.
Let me finish real quick. So like with the Damian Sandow thing, they genuinely wanted the guy to get over, and he was making anything work. He made the the Dow thing work, and then when it finally looked like they were going to give him an inch, WWE, didn't just take a mile; they took miles. So and then the Rusev Day thing is like they. To me, I think it was too little too late because they put him in the match with AJ when he was, kind of teetering off a little bit. And then they were just like, oh, well, I guess we can't push him anymore. So I think with LA Knight...
Oh, sorry, finish. Go ahead.
I think with LA Knight, it's like, okay, we have a guy who's getting over organically because, when he was Eli Drake in Impact, yeah, he was just my opinion, like he was a good wrestler and he was a good, talker, but... that was fucking Impact. And then, when he was in, NWA, he was getting noticed, but like there was always that shit talking of like, oh, he's just doing a Steve Austin Rock impression. He just looks like another Mr. Kennedy, blah, blah, blah. He gets to WWE and they just, I don't know if maybe they found something in him that was marketable or the fans did or he did or maybe it was all three. But he has organically got himself over. Other than Cody and Roman, he's the most over guy on the show. So I think with WWE, they're like, okay, we got momentum here. We can't fuck it up. Let's see what we got. So, anyways, go ahead.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Yeah, I think with LA Knight, it's a wait and see approach, but it's also like let's enjoy him while we have him because the guy's also 40. So, I mean, he sure as shit don't look 40, but like, I mean, he's been wrestling for fucking 20 years. And in that first like decade he wasn't really with any like big wrestling company until he got to Impact. I mean, he was in NXT, but like, well, yes and no. Like he was in their performance center, but he ended up leaving, went to Impact, and had somewhat of a name in Impact. He was the world champion, then he went to NWA, and then he came here. So he's the most over he's ever been in in the WWE. So
yeah,
I'm kind of like with you, where it's like I don't want them to rush a match with Roman because it's one of those things of like, how do I put it? Like, it's those things of like, okay, we know you don't want him to beat Roman because you want that spot for Cody. Fine. Don't put him in a position where it looks like you're going to put him in a match with Roman just because he's over and Roman's your big star.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If you want to put him in a feud with like Solo, fine. Or Jimmy, like I'm fine with that. You know, but preferably Solo because I like Solo. But don't just like say, "All right, Roman, next." Keep this momentum going until you finally are comfortable with him, you know, being in that spot. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, which I think, I mean, honestly, him in that main event spot that Roman has, I think can work. That's just me.
Right.
So, I mean, we'll see. What else happened? You had well, I guess the main event wrestling match of the night. You had Bayley versus Asuka. You know, good match. I mean, because you know you got Bayley who's good, and you got Asuka who's good. So, and then next week you're gonna have Io Sky versus Asuka for the title. So, should be a good one. And then the main event segment of the night. Do
we get Kyrie?
Possibly.
It's a possibility. I'm not saying yes or no for sure, but just throwing it out there because Nia Jax came out of nowhere on Monday. So,
well, also because that the damage control comes into play. Maybe there might be some fuckery afoot.
Well, yeah, not even just that too, but Kyrie, she kind of did like a goodbye,
Hey, can you
thing
take over
on?
Can you take over the show real quick? I gotta take care of something.
Yeah, sure. But Kyrie is finishing up with Stardom, and she kind of did like a little goodbye speech. So there's that. So, So let's take it to the chat here for a second. How many people we got here in the chat? So, asking the chat here? What is to you so far this past week? What is the biggest wrestling story to you this past week? I know we probably covered it already, but what is the biggest wrestling story to the chat this week? And I'll read it out here live on air. But hopefully everyone's doing well. And it's a good Saturday. But, and also as well, did anyone see Collision tonight? I watched the first 30 minutes and yeah. That's all I can really say. And yeah. You know what I mean? But Drew's going to go do something right now. I think also as well we're going to be covering the top 10 in the PWA 500. Talk about that, debate that, and then it's Q&A time. On this jam-packed Saturday night show here for us here at the Drew Yar Experience. So yeah, but we have plenty of questions here. I haven't read any questions. I just know that there's a lot. Just scroll all the way through them, but I didn't get, actually read them. So probably gonna be here till midnight. Maybe. So we'll see.
All right, I'm back.
Oh, okay, Drew's back.
Yeah, sorry, there's a fucking dog in our front yard that keeps getting out. I mean, it's harmless, but it's like, dude, stay the fuck out of our yard. I see RJ's in the chat. What's up, RJ? Oh yeah. So, yeah, I was saying about Asuka and Io. Maybe that's how you bring in Kari. Is to Kari helps out Asuka and they form an alliance, or they reform the Kabuki Warriors against Damage Control, minus Dakota. I don't know how healthy Dakota is at this point.
Not medically cleared. It'd probably be around Rumble.
Yeah, more than likely. So then the main events.
From what she said herself, that's what she said. So,
all right. The main event segment of the night, I guess, to close out the show, was the Grayson Waller effect. With John Cena. John Cena couldn't utter a word all night. Grayson Waller kept cutting him off, talking shit. And then Jimmy Uso came out to confront him, saying, you're never going to embarrass me like you did last week. Try doing it again. Solo comes out and gets in Cena's face. And the whole time Jimmy's talking shit like, yeah, get him. And Solo makes it look like he's going to take out Jimmy, but then he takes out Cena. And so Cena and Solo gang up on Jimmy. And then that's when AJ comes out to level the playing field. So basically, planting seeds for Fastlane. Maybe Cena and Solo. Maybe AJ versus Jimmy. Maybe reverse. Who knows?
Yeah, tag match.
Tag match. Playa. So we'll see. But that was SmackDown, people. Pretty good show on SmackDown.
Yeah, I thought it was the best SmackDown 2023.
Yeah, no doubt. And we already did talk about Raw. Nia Jax coming back. So what else is there to talk about besides?
Nothing. But that was awful. So in the grand, if we were doing this show on Wednesday, that'll be a major talking point. But like so much other shit happened in wrestling that like that's not even a concern to me right now.
Do you have any topics you want to discuss?
No, we pretty much covered it all. I think we're probably going to get into the PWI top 10.
Yes. So the PWI came out this week. The 500. I have the full list. Obviously, we're not going to go through all 500. We'll maybe save that for Wednesday. We'll see. But we do have the top 10. Do you want to do 10 or 15 or 20? What do you want to do?
The top 10. The top 10, starting from 10 up, and we'll go through the others. I think another time. Right, because cool. We still got the questions, and we got like a whole bunch of those. So
yeah, we got another hour of that because we got a lot of questions. Yeah. All right, so the PWI top 10, number 10, Cody Rhodes.
Now, granted, this was from July to July, so Cody didn't come back until January. So him being in the top 10, I'm okay with. I'm fine with. With other names I'm seeing here on the list, he may be a little bit higher than 10. So,
should be higher.
Well, I probably wouldn't be top 5 on mine, but he's top 10 though for sure.
He definitely should be ranked over some of these guys, but Cody at number 10. Yep, my opinion, because I'm right. No, top 5 moments during evaluation period. Won the 2023 Men's Royal Rumble. Entering at number 30. Headlined the first WrestleMania on April 2nd, or his first WrestleMania on April 2nd in Los Angeles, pushing Roman Reigns to the limit in a 36-minute war before being pinned amidst outside interference by Solo. Conquered the Beast Brock Lesnar in the main event of Backlash 2023, pinning him on May 6th in San Juan, Puerto Rico. In his first singles match in 7 months, defeated Finn Balor on the January 30th edition of Monday Night Raw in Tulsa. At Money in the Bank on July 1st in London, England, beat Dominic Mysterio in a battle between WWE's most beloved star and arguably its most hated one. And last year he was in 6th place, so he kind of took a dip this year. But right. like we mentioned, the evaluation period is between July of 2022 to July of 2023. So unfortunately, them's the rules. Number 9 is Josh Alexander.
I love Josh Alexander. I really do. He's really good. I think he's very underrated. Just because he's in Impact, no one watches him and probably just think he sucks. Oh, he works at Impact and he sucks. And I don't watch Impact. But he was injured for 3 months, 4 months. If he was wrestling the entire time, debatably maybe be top 10, debatably, but I don't see him at 9. I don't. Not because he's not talented and that he doesn't deserve it. It's just because he was out for 3 months, 4 months. He just came back 2 months ago, almost 2 months ago. So I don't know.
I got nothing against Josh Alexander. I think he's good. Number 9 over Cody.
Not even just that. It's just it's in. If all things were even, I could see Josh Alexander be a top 10 wrestler. So is Cody. But again, I would have Cody over Josh Alexander, 100%. Yeah.
All right.
I think I maybe had Josh Alexander maybe top 20 because he missed those last 3 months. So.
All right. Number 8, Orange Cassidy.
Oh, you sounded excited on that. Well, give us your opinion on him on his ranking.
I fucking hate Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, so he's not deserving of this position, obviously. So let me ask this: where would you put him? Like out of the 500.
I would put him at 501. No. Again, just I don't wish ill will towards Orange Cassidy. I obviously don't know him as a person. I'm not a fan of his wrestling. He doesn't run the ropes properly. He has very unrealistic, shitty wrestling matches. My opinion. I don't care for him. I mean, people seem to like him, so who am I to judge? Did you see any improvement with I guess the story that was being told with him? I mean probably not, because you for that right say you don't watch his matches. So but like, what have you did see from him in 2023? Did you see like, oh well, that's better than what I saw him last time do? Because again, I'm not a huge Orange Cassidy fan, honestly. Like, I probably want to have him at number 8. Top 10? Probably not. Maybe top 15. Honestly, top 15. Because, like, to me, with what he did this year with the International Championship, I gave it to him, like, man, like, I mean, I don't really like his character, but damn, he's good in the ring. Damn, he's telling a story. He's showing they can tell stories with his injuries, and that was the story with him. He was telling the story of, like, hey, like, I keep getting my ass kicked, and I got kinesio tape all over me, and will my injuries catch up to me? Eventually, it did with Jon Moxley. So, like, did you like see any of that? Where it's like, he's kind of obviously not growing on you, but like kind of seeing like, okay, well, he's getting a little bit better at this, or a little bit better at that, or like he's not as bad as I saw him, this time last year. Did you see any of that with them? I'll say this: they were pushing him. They were pushing him as their guy. I'll say that, and I believe you even said the same thing as like every show opens with Orange Cassidy. And it just didn't seem like it was really going anywhere, because that
was getting annoying. But
it was just like, Orange Cassidy's going to open the show and he's going to have a match with somebody, and it's going to be 20 minutes, and there's going to be a lot of false finishes and blah blah blah, and Orange Cassidy's going to barely scrape it out, and then Jon Moxley fucking kills that momentum. Oh my god, I'm saying nice things about Orange Cassidy, Jesus Christ. Jon Moxley kills that momentum, and that's about it. So, listen, this is just my opinion. Orange Cassidy's not for me. Like, whatever people see in him, I just don't see. I'm sorry. But, like I've always said about wrestling is subjective. So, what's not for me is for somebody else. So, I'll just keep it like that. But he's not in my top 10. He's not even in my top 25. I honestly can't think of a realistic place I'd put him on this list.
Okay.
All right. Where would you put him?
Well, it's probably top 15 for this
year.
Okay. Again, like I said, he's shown more than just the character of the kicks, the lazy kicks, and all that stuff. He just showed that he can actually have a damn good match and tell a story. Like, you know what I mean? That's what wrestling's about, is telling stories. He shows that he can do that. So,
all right. Number 7 is Okada.
Yeah, I mean, it's fucking Okada. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's fucking Okada. I mean, I know probably you only seen maybe only one match of his this year was with the Bryan Danielson match. So
yeah.
But I don't know where Naito is on this list. He should have been on this list here. I will probably have Naito over Okada this year. I still think Okada's the better wrestler though, but Okada being top 10 is I'm not gonna sneeze at for sure.
I mean, I don't really have anything to add to that because I obviously know who Okada is. I know he's really good. The match with Danielson, which was really good. Whatever, it's Okada. Give him whatever he wants. I'll just leave it at that. Number 6 is MJF.
Does it feel low for MJF to be at number 6? Is that
Yes.
like I think he should probably. I mean, definitely he's top 5 for sure. I think I will have MJF over Moxley. I will have MJF over Moxley. I'll probably have MJF number 3.
Okay.
What I mean? Like MJF, he's amazing. Like,
yeah, he's.
What else do you want me to say? He's fucking fantastic.
It's fucking MJF. He's the biggest star in that company. He's the biggest ratings draw, or one of the biggest. Or I would say, now that Punk is gone, one of the biggest rating draws for that company, biggest merch sellers, and he's the most over guy in the company. So he needs to be in the top 5. Why he's number 6, I don't know. Number 5, El Hijo del Vikingo.
Hijo del Vikingo.
Why?
I don't think he's number 5. I think he's a little too high.
Yep.
I do think he's probably about top 15, I want to say. But the reason why he's this high is because he's almost the mega champion in AAA for nearly 2 years.
Right.
That's the biggest thing.
Okay.
He's almost been champion for 2 years, so it's like you gotta put that in perspective too as well. And so I mean he's number 5. So I mean I wouldn't have him there personally, but he's a dynamic in-ring talent. You know what I mean? Great high flyer, I should say. Probably not in ring per se, like the schematics, but like he's a dynamic high flyer, very innovative when it comes to that scene. But 5's high. 5's high. Maybe top 15 overall though. But
so let me just tell you this. So Sami Zayn is number 22.
okay.
Sami Zayn, who was in the biggest storyline in the past year, main evented WrestleMania, had one of the biggest homecomings at Montreal for Elimination Chamber. Okay. One of the biggest, hottest baby faces in wrestling. And he's not good enough to be in the top 10.
I mean, it's subjective, this list, obviously, but
very. It's a definition of subjective.
You're saying, obviously you're not going to have Vikingo in your top 10.
No.
Okay. Well, and again, that's to you, obviously, because like you're saying, like Sami Zayn, biggest babyface, and obviously he was, but like again, it's from July to July. After April, let's be honest, Sami Zayn tapered off. That's just what it is. He tapered off, because
still much better than Vikingo.
Yes, but again, like, so you only saw Vikingo in AEW. You haven't seen anything that he's done in AAA. And me, I've seen a little bit. I'm not saying like I know everything about Vikingo as well, but he's their main champion for 2 years, and that's something to be accounted for as well. Wrestling, the PWI, they look at the totality of everything in pro wrestling. They just don't look at what you've done in, the major companies, like because. To me, I don't think that's the right way of thinking when it comes to looking at this list. Like, a lot of this list is kayfabe for one, but also number 2 as well. These guys at PWI, they scour the world and they have people who just watch, AAA, just watch Mexican wrestling. You know what I mean? We don't know 100% what Vikingo's story. He may have a fucking better story than what was going on with the Bloodline. I doubt it because I haven't really seen or really heard anything about it. But there's probably people there who, at PWI who watches AAA and AEW and New Japan and WWE, obviously, is, feeling that, okay, well, Vikingo, his situation, he's champion for nearly 2 years over there. He deserves the right to be in this position. So, So, I understand why he's number 5. I get it. I personally won't have him where he's at. I'll probably have him at number, in the top 15. Sami Zayn, yeah, like I said, he's tapered off. Top
He's-
20, yeah, for sure. Maybe top 15, but I probably won't have Sami Zayn in my top 10.
I just, again, I look at Vikingo and I've seen what he does. I've seen clips of shit that he's done everywhere else. And I just see him and I go, oh, I've seen other people do that, but better.
You've never seen anybody do it. You've never seen anyone do a springboard 630 through a table. He was the first one I've ever seen to do that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did, but I don't know. Just I see that I'm go, oh, another guy that can do flips, another video game wrestler. So maybe that's just ignorant thinking from me, but it's just like I'm just again.
That's probably I won't say fully ignorant, but it's kind of a little bit because you can't just look at wrestling as like just great technical wrestler or someone like Gunther or someone like Seth Rollins does flips and does fucking not 630s, but like does Phoenix splashes and whatnot. Granted, that's not all he does. But Vikingo, he is a luchador from Mexico. That's what they do. Rey Mysterio was doing this, not the same exact crazy shit, but he was doing crazy innovative shit in 1996. No one thought of him as just, he's just a flippy guy or things of that nature, right? Psychosis did some crazy shit. Juice and Thunder Liger, who invented the Shooting Star, probably one of the guys that invented the Shooting Star Press. Like you gotta look at it as an evolution versus just a guy just doing flippy shit, in my opinion.
With Ray had a unique look. Ray looked like a superhero almost. He had that appeal that worked for him in WCW that got him noticed by WWE, and then worldwide. Psychosis could have had that Rey Mysterio career, but I don't know what happened. But he had that unique look with the mask, and then he took off the mask, and you're like, oy. So I don't know. Just again, I don't.
Vikingo doesn't have a unique look to you.
El Hijo
looks like a fucking Viking.
Sure, but again,
I mean, with the get up, the Viking. I mean, he looks good. I mean, I'm not saying he's like groundbreaking or anything, but but I mean, to me, he looks good. He looks not necessarily different, but even at that too, like some of his AAA, like he'll have like face paint on or like eye black on. His have you ever seen his entrance helmet that he has, like a little Viking helmet with the mask? Probably not, maybe.
Nope.
So like he does not live up to that Viking gimmick, but he has some aesthetics within that gimmick that he has. Again, top 5, little high for me, but top 15, okay, I get it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, again, the guy's been their champion for nearly fucking 2 years, so like you can't take that away from him.
Anyways, number 4, Gunther.
Yeah. These deserving to be up there. Probably I'll have him over Moxley, to be honest. But yeah, top 3 for sure. Like he's fan-fucking-tastic.
I'm gonna say something bold. I would put him over Roman.
Yes, I tend to agree because Roman hasn't really been. But again, Roman is the biggest draw.
Right.
Like, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, Gunther is the best wrestler to me on this top 10 list. If it's the best wrestler, number 1, hands down, like no questions asked. But with the totality of everything, like he's definitely top 3.
Yeah, Gunther's Gunther. He's so far my pick for wrestler of the year. Number 3, Jon Moxley.
Definitely not. I won't say definitely number 3, but he's definitely top 10 to me. Maybe top 5. I will have. Honestly, probably my top 5 will be like Seth, Roman, Gunther, MJF, Moxley in that order. So I'll probably have him at number 5 if I was constructing this list. So,
yeah, another case of a guy who I just don't get. Like you know what the sad part is about?
Did you not like him in WWE?
No. I was about to get to that. I thought his run in WWE was much better than AEW because, as far as wrestling matches go, because he was capable of having good matches. He had good matches against against AJ, against Owens, against Roman, against Seth. He main evented a pay-per-view with fucking Triple H. So he was capable of having good matches once upon a time, but he
doesn't have any good matches anymore. What's different from his in-ring style from minus the blood? Not even talking about the blood. What's different from his in-ring style from WWE to AEW?
He throws shitty punches and none of his shit looks believable.
He throws shitty punches in WWE too.
And he doesn't want to fucking sell for anyone. Like, he never sells for anyone. So just, I don't know, just again, this is just a preference, kind of like with the Orange Cassidy thing and the Kingo thing. I don't get it. People seem to get it. I mean, he's clearly considered a big star in AEW, and I think, to me, you take him at AEW, that could hurt the product, because clearly they like him. You know, the fans like him, they appreciate him, they see him in a way I don't see him. So it's again, he's
the most consistent guy over there when it comes to having the need to do something. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's the reason why he should be like where he is on the list, but like when CM Punk, when the first Brawlout situation there happened, right? And last year, who was there? Jon Moxley, right? The whole situation when Punk got injured originally for Forbidden Door, the first Forbidden Door, who was there? Jon Moxley, right? This fucking main event for All Out, who was there? Jon Moxley. So, and same thing in WWE. He wrestled like the most matches in WWE from the time he was there, from the time he was left, too. So, like, Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley, like, he's just no matter where he's at, like, he's just reliable when it comes to having the matches, the number of matches, putting on, in your opinion, you don't like his match style, you know what I mean? But he, to most people, well, probably not most people, but to a lot of people, really thinks that he puts on good matches for the most part. There's some matches and I'm like, oh man, like I'm not really feeling this one. But to the most part, he's been putting on good matches. His feuds, not his feuds, but like his matches have high intensity in them, right? And hard hitting, but to again, it's not everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah. It's like movies. There's movies I don't like that people love, and I'm just like, I don't get it. But everyone likes it, so it's subjective. So that's a good part of wrestling. You can like whatever you want. You can like whatever you want. You can dislike whatever you want. But with Moxley, I just like Dean Ambrose better. That's just me. The number 2, Roman Reigns.
Sure. Yeah, I mean,
biggest star in the company, biggest star in the business. Biggest star in
the company, biggest star in the fucking world when it comes to wrestling. So
biggest box office draw. So can't take away that. But I don't know. Just I would have put Gunther on that spot. That's just me. But number 1, Seth Rollins.
Deserves it. Absolutely deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what can you say? I mean, he had a hell of a year. Becoming a World Heavyweight Champion, putting on banger matches, right? Like, you don't get a bad Seth Rollins match. You know what I mean? So, yeah, deserves it.
Yeah, over as fuck. I mean, I don't know about over as fuck, but over.
He's over. He's over.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I mean, his song's over, but
yeah, the song's over. Moves merch. People. Does he have merch?
I mean, everyone has merch, but like he's not really a merch mover, I will say.
Okay, so let's say like he's a draw. We'll just say he's a draw.
Yeah, draw.
People sing his song, even if you, regardless of how you feel about it, regardless of how you feel about his like style and his entrances and his over the top wacky personality. He's you can't deny that the guy's over. The guy is over, and he has great matches. A lot of my choices for a lot of my match of the year choices have been Seth Rollins matches because the guy can work. So deserves it. There's really no denying that. So
who would be your top 5? Mine would have been Seth, Roman, Gunther. Seth, Gunther, Roman, MJF, and Jon Moxley. Like, what would have been your top 5 if you had to pick?
Ooh. I mean, Seth is going to be my number 1. There's no doubting that. Seth, Gunther, I'm going to say Ilya. That'd be my number 3. Number 4 would be MJF.
So out of everybody in pro wrestling, I love Ilya, you know that, but out of everybody, you're picking Ilya number 3.
Yes.
That's bold.
Ilya had a lot of the best matches out of NXT have been from Ilya. So I'm going to go with Ilya as my number 3. Number 4 would be Roman. Number 5 would be MJF.
Okay.
So, yeah, Ilya's ranked really low on this one, but we'll cover more of this.
Yeah. Well, don't tell me what his will say. Now, Ilya should be top 25, I think, at least. But yeah. But anyway, we'll talk about that some other time. So.
But we'll get more into this list on Wednesday. So let me get to the Q&A for the month of September. Let me try and find these questions.
What this show's actually about.
Oh, boy. Alright, so where the fuck is September at? Oh, here we go. So the first question for this Q&A is from CM Goof. If men who drove big trucks are supposedly compensating for a small penis, are women who drive small cars compensating for a large vagina?
I have no idea. That's our first question.
Yes.
I have no idea.
Sure. If Tom Hanks is America's dad, who can be America's cool uncle?
Oh, that's a good question.
Maybe Bill Murray?
Bill Murray, yeah. Kevin Hart.
I don't know. He maybe he can be that cool cousin. I know, but that fucking dog is in the front yard again. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Take over for a bit.
Chat, who would you consider America's cool uncle? If the chat's here. I don't even have a Discord up here. Let me see. Are we talking to ourselves tonight? No, RJ and Maurice is here. Okay. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, fucking I'm gonna say Kevin Hart. Well, I mean, Kevin Hart's like, obviously he's not like that much older than me and Drew, so but I'm just saying, like, just overall as a person, like, who'd be that cool uncle? Kevin Hart would be a cool uncle. You know? My opinion.
Alright, now I'm back. Jesus Christ, and where did Justin go? What happened to Justin? Oh shit, here we go.
Yo, I got kicked out. I didn't know. Because you're like, where did Justin go? I'm like, I'm here.
You got kicked out?
I'm assuming so.
I mean, I sure.
So I don't even know. I don't even know like when I got kicked.
That's weird.
Because because I did ask because I did see RJ's message down there about Kevin Hart and George Clooney for the uncles. But anyway, I'm back. Doesn't matter.
That's so weird. I'm sorry about that. The fucking dog keeps coming in our yard. I don't know. I don't know why that happened. So yeah, there's probably a lot of dead air for like 2 minutes, right?
Probably so.
I'm gonna have to cut that out. But yeah, I guess Bill Murray could be a good choice for America's cool uncle. So next question: why does Tom Lawlor call himself filthy when he clearly bathes regularly?
Because he's a filthy in-ring wrestler. That's why.
There you go. What's your preferred hard alcoholic beverage? For me, I mean, I don't really drink that much, but for me, I guess Wild Turkey.
I'm a Coke and rum guy, or a shot of silver.
All right, and that's all the questions Goof has for now. Next is Maurice. Where did this fuck the revival thing start, and did this stem due to the Young Bucks being jealous?
No. The fuck the revival thing started from Cody.
Yeah.
On being the elite, but basically they had like back and forth on social media as well, like when the revival was in WWE, and just like friendly jabs or whatnot with each other, because wrestlers are fan of other wrestlers, so they started like the whole FTR thing, and but like the whole fuck revival thing will start from Cody on the being the elite. So
all right. Beefaroni or beefagetti?
Neither, but I'll probably go with beefaroni if I had to pick.
Yeah, same. Do you believe the Endeavor and WWE deal fully to take place this week? Will there be a sudden shift that could immediately happen or slowly? We already talked about that. So
talked about that. It's gonna be slowly. It's gonna be like a fucking cancer. So.
Oy. What annoying commercial ad you can think of you want to erase from memory?
Oh man. The Pizza Hut. The newest Pizza Hut. I'll be like, sheesh. Like, I hate that commercial. Terrible. Out all the commercials I've ever seen in my life, I really like a lot of commercials, like the ones that really stuck with me, like a rock, you know what I mean? Like the fucking Chevy, like those are fucking fantastic, right? That commercial sucks. That Pizza Hut commercial sucks.
For me, I mean, this was, I guess it's a commercial because it was at the movies. They finally got rid of it, but that like fucking stupid ass Regal commercial. The one where like everybody's coming in and like saying movie quotes. I hated that. That was so cringe. And I can't even contemplate and remember on that. So they finally got rid of it because everybody fucking hates it.
Oh,
television commercials. Well,
it says a commercial ad. It didn't necessarily say television.
I don't know, but yeah, that's the only one I can think of that I just truly hated. Your personal opinion on Jon Stewart?
Not really a big opinion. I mean, I know that he was I remember him from Big Daddy and obviously, the Daily Show, but I don't really have a big opinion on him. I know some people don't really like him, but I mean, whatever. But not really big opinion on him.
All right. Neither do I. I mean, he's a wrestling fan, so cool. So that's really all I can say. What was your favorite Adult Swim show to watch besides Family Guy, American Dad, or Rick and Morty?
I don't watch Adult Swim, so
Robot Chicken.
If I had to pick one, I did like the Boondocks for a little bit, but I did, I probably seen only like 5 episodes of Boondocks, so not really an Adult Swim type of guy.
Yeah, I didn't really watch it too much. I mean, I've just watched Family Guy and also Robot Chicken, so that wasn't one of the choices. I'll just say Robot Chicken. Thank you, Maurice. I'm assuming that's it for now. Kyle has some questions. He says, I've always wondered, where does Michael Myers go to the bathroom? Does he go to the victim's house? Does he stop at a gas station? Or just goes out in the street somewhere? These are reasonable questions, and we deserve to know. That's an interesting question, Kyle. I was
letting you go first on that one.
I'm assuming he has to go to the restroom sometime. I mean, all that killing, takes its toll on him, so... And we don't know his diet.
He's technically a human.
And we don't know his diet regimen. We don't know that he eats. And what does he eat? So,
dogs.
Oh God.
Well, no, I'm being serious. Like you seen the first Halloween, right?
Yeah.
And when Dr. Loomis comes in, he's like, because remember there was that dog, and he was like, oh, he got hungry. Like, he ate the dog.
No way. But yeah, if I had to guess, he's probably going to take a shit at the victim's house.
Yeah.
All right.
After he's done killing, he just goes in the restroom like, oh damn it, this can't hold.
He's
You
just
ain't,
like
you ain't got no toilet paper either. Like, I kill you, you have no damn toilet paper.
he's like he's on the toilet. He's like going for the toilet, but it's just like the roll. He's like, this night can't get any worse.
Yeah.
So, or he's just like waiting outside the victim's room, and he's like holding it in, but he's doing like the pee dance of, come on,
Right.
I can't wait anymore. I've been a fan of WWE since January '07 when I was in the 8th grade. I don't ever remember a time in those 16 years when WWE tickets are selling as quickly as they are now. In your opinion, what do you think is causing this? What do you think?
Wrestling is in a hot state right now. It's not as mainstream as it was, but wrestling is a hot ticket right now. It's just that simple. People are invested in the product as far as WWE is concerned, thanks to the bloodline, and they want to be a part of it. Once this bloodline story ends, is it still going to be as hot? That remains to be seen.
Wrestling isn't as mainstream as it used to be, but I would say it's more marketable. Especially when WWE, became public, and now they got the deal with Endeavor. But even before that, they were still selling out, Raws and SmackDowns and pay-per-views. I mean, they sold out WrestleMania in advance. I mean, WrestleMania this year's or the next year's WrestleMania is already sold out, and there hasn't even been a match announced. So it also helps that WWE is a brand, so that brand is already good enough, is already big enough for them. So hopefully that answers the question, Kyle. How has the Dark Side of the Ring not done an episode on rock and roll Buck Zumhofe, Hardbody Harrison, and TNA Victory Road in 2011? What was that?
Bugs Zumhofe.
Okay, there you go. Hardbody Harrison and TNA Victory Road 2011. If they're gonna do any, or even like one of those, it's probably gonna be next season. So that's.
I mean, is there going to be a next season?
I mean, I would think so. I mean, because there's still quite a few things. Because like this season, they're supposed to do Mike Awesome, but the family backed out at the last minute.
Right.
So they decided not to go with it. So I don't know. I would think that there's going to be one next season, if I had to guess.
The only reason I'm saying is because of like Vice and
Right.
But yeah, I'm not too sure. Not too sure, but Buck Zumhofe and fucking Rockbody Harrison, but have similar situations like with sexual shit. Yeah, maybe. What about All Out 2021?
Oh,
How about that?
That's gonna be huge. Just have CM Punk talk for like 90 minutes.
Yeah. That's coming in the next 5 years, but yeah. Oh, we'll have to wait and see what they do with Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah. Hulk Hogan has his Hulkamaniacs. Edge has his Edge Heads. John Cena has a Cena Nation. But Undertaker has his Creatures of the Nights. But what are Roman's and Cody's fans called?
Reigns of the Reindeers.
Okay.
And Cody's is My Little Black Children. I think that's probably it. I mean, maybe I may be slightly wrong about the name though.
I'm not going to touch that. Next is what breed would you be if you were a dog? I think I'd be an English Mastiff. I don't know. I think it'd be pretty cool to be a German Shepherd.
Be a Doberman.
Nice. Do you think it's possible that WWE will change their logo again at some point once the Endeavor merger is completed? Hello.
I mean, they always change logos, so eventually.
Yeah. I don't see why not.
I mean, probably like not now, but like couple years maybe. We'll see.
Am I the only person who prefers TNA Impact Wrestling from 2007 to 2015 over AEW? I connected with TNA way more than I did with AEW. The only thing I prefer AEW over TNA is the fact that AEW does weekly TV in arenas, whereas TNA was always almost always at the Impact Zone in Universal. I mean, I dug not AEW, TNA, back in the day. I mean, there was a point where I was kind of an average supporter of TNA during that time. But we know what happened with that. But I don't know. What do you think about Kyle's statement?
I like TNA. I was never really like emotionally invested. I'm not to say I'm emotionally invested with AEW either, but emotionally invested with TNA though. 2009, 2010. Like, despite what people say about like, Hogan, came in and killed Eric Hogan and Bishop. That's why I loved it. I loved it then. You know what I mean? So, especially like the whole 10-10-10 storyline with Jeff Hardy turning heel and fucking just great shit. You know what I mean? But I think those are probably the only main 2 years. Like, and I watched TNA early on too because I loved TNA like 2002, 2003, 2004. I love that version of TNA as well. So then the main event Mafia, obviously good stuff. So, but comparison to AEW, I think TNA has more memorable things going on, but like early AEW has some really good stuff too. So and again, it's just like pick your poison. It's like what you more prefer. So.
So RJ pointed out that Roman's fans are known as the Roman Empire.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So, but what does the tribal chief call them?
I mean, or it could be like the Romosexuals.
What about the Island of Relevancy?
Yeah, I don't know.
Jesus Christ. I still can't get over little black children.
No. I mean, he's defeated racism. He can do whatever the hell he wants.
Sure. Jesus Christ. Oh boy, your favorite cheeses and condiments? Cheeses, pepper jack, and provolone. Mainly pepper jack. Condiments, mustard, mayonnaise, and relish.
For me, cheeses. I'm a cheese guy, so love a good Monterey Jack, Colby Jack. Love a good, a good cheddar, sharp cheddar. Love Munster as well. Provolone, obviously. Condiments. Not a huge condiment guy, but barbecue sauce is the way to go.
Oh, and then barbecue sauce, of course, and hot sauce for me. What do you think about this idea? Cartoons that are meant to be watched by adults and to be played on TVs and bars. It's called bar tunes, kind of like Adult Swim. Good idea, Kyle. I like it.
There you go. Just put Adult Swim in bars.
What's your high school's mascot and what's their school colors? We were Trojans, so we were purple and white. Was it purple and white or purple and gray?
We were not no fucking Trojans. We were warriors, brother.
Trojans, bro. We were Trojans. Or Trojan Warriors. Dude, those are Trojans.
Okay. But the name of the school is Warren Warriors. Like, yes, it was a Trojan, but like...
The mascot was a Trojan. Okay, Trojan Warrior, I'll say that.
Yeah, it's kind of make it seem like our school name was Warren Trojans instead of Warren Warriors. But anyway, yeah, we're purple, white, and silver. Purple and silver. And black, too. We adopted the black color, so...
Mm-hmm. Kyle says, mine is the La Follette Lancers, and their colors are red and gray, which is based off of Ohio State. What do you think Matt Cardona / Zack Ryder will return, or when do you think Matt Cardona / Zack Ryder will return to WWE? He has really improved tremendously on the indies. I mean, he's kind of like, been. I mean, he's always been nice since of WWE, but like he's kind of said, I'll come back, but I need to be me. So I think if he comes back, he probably won't be Zack Ryder. So I don't know.
Right. So I listen to the Major Figure podcast every week. So I've kind of get the tendency with Zach or Matt. He loves his schedule. He loves that he doesn't like to do call times anymore, things of that nature. He likes to show up when he needs to. He likes like having his own schedule, having his own life. And also on top of that as well, he runs his own toy line. And if he goes to WWE, he can't do that anymore. Mm-hmm. So he's making a lot of money with his toy line right now. So and with this podcast. So I don't think he wants to give that up this immediately. Now, he's always talked great about it. He never talked shit about WWE on his podcast or anything like that. Him and Brian Myers. I personally just think, for me listening to him, I just don't think that's happening anytime soon. Because because he told the story when Chelsea, I don't know if it was when Chelsea won the titles or whatever, but like the moment when he was backstage with them, like last month or 2 months ago, he was like, man, I just wanted to get there and just like leave immediately. Like he didn't want to stay and like chat it up with some of the other wrestlers, not just because he didn't like the wrestlers, just because he just didn't want to be back there in that environment. And like he does not miss that environment type of thing. So right. I don't know. I don't. Just me personally, and how much I listen to him, I just don't think he's gonna be doing that anytime soon. But again, like he's definitely open for that return because he's always said that. Well, if I do come back, you know what I mean, like because he obviously he's talking about his figures. So he's like, I probably want to Ultimate Edition. I want this, I want that, and so I don't know. I'll have to kind of see. But like even at that too, like his podcast won't end. He'll still have his podcast, but. I don't know if WWE will want him to have a podcast with an AEW star on there because Smart Mark Sterling's on the podcast too as well. So it's a 3-man podcast of him, Smart Mark, and Brian Myers. I think Brian Myers is like kind of like harmless because like, oh well, he was a WWE guy, but Smart Mark is not a WWE guy, so I don't know.
Do you remember the "I hate you, you hate me, let's get together and kill Barney" song? I don't.
Yes, I do remember that.
Unfortunately. Did you know that in the initials for NXT Stand and Deliver is NXT Sad? No, I didn't, Kyle.
Thanks, Kyle. That's pretty funny, though. Hilarious.
Kyle's got some zingers.
Oh, yeah.
With sometimes how reckless some of the wrestlers are in AEW, are you surprised nobody has had a serious injury that could take them out for a year or, God forbid, be a career-ending injury? Well, didn't Ray Phoenix have that injury on that Ring of Honor show?
No, not Ray Phoenix. Dante Martin.
Dante Martin. There you go.
No, Ray Phoenix did have that injury where like his arm broke.
Really?
And it was all gushy and nasty. So there's been serious injuries before, but again, that's why I said, a while back, like guys like MJF, or if they come over to WWE, like. They can't wrestle the style that they are doing it right now. MJF's probably a bad example, but let's say, for example, let's say Kenny Omega, right? We'll just say he comes to WWE or the Young Bucks. They can't wrestle that same style every single week because that's going to catch up to them. So they're going to have to change their style, and also on top of that, they're wrestling multiple times a week, so they're not going to be used to that schedule where, I'm wrestling on Monday. Fuck, now I'm wrestling again on Friday. Oh, fuck, now I'm wrestling again on Saturday. So, yeah, I mean, yeah. But, with AEW, too, like, sometimes you get away with wrestling, like, maybe, like, 2 matches in 1 month. So, they can probably get away with that style. So.
Yeah, unfortunately. I know people age, and it's a fact of life, but is Tommy Dreamer starting to turn into his hero, Dusty Rhodes? I'm not used to seeing him looking like he does now. I have zero interest in seeing Tommy Dreamer do anything, so that's just me.
Well, I mean, I like Tommy Dreamer. I mean, Is he looking like Dusty now? I mean, you get older. I mean, it's kind of hard to keep the body fat off of you. So, I mean,
Yeah.
Here's what it is. You know what I mean? But Tommy Dreamer, he's in a great position at Impact. You know what I mean? He's being like a player coach. So, you know.
Living in Texas, are you a big college football fan? I'm assuming you've been to UTSA games at the Alamo Dome. I'm not really big into college football like everyone else here in Texas. I know that's blasphemy coming from me. But I've unfortunately never been to any UTSA games. When I was at UTSA, I had access to go to games for free, but never went. But, yeah. What about you?
I've been to one UTSA game maybe a couple years ago. It was against Texas State. So, yeah, I mean, I've been to a game before. UTSA is on my team. I'm a Miami Hurricanes fan. But I will say this: I've been to an NFL game inside the Alamo Dome, preseason game, New Orleans Saints versus the Minnesota Vikings. I think it was like 1998, 99, whenever they came here, and it was or 2000. I don't know if you remember Corey Stringer, or if that name sounds familiar, but he was like an offensive lineman for the Vikings who died from a heat stroke at practice.
Oh shit!
And yeah, this was like 99, 2000. I remember doing a like a moment of silence, at the Alamo Dome. So I'll never forget that moment.
All right. His next question is, you know what Murphy's Law is, but what is Papa Murphy's Law? What is Papa Murphy? Does anyone know who or what Papa Murphy is?
Oh, the pizza.
No, that's Papa John's.
There's Papa Murphy's too.
I've literally never heard of that place.
There's like several in San Antonio. Is it called Papa Murphy's? Yeah, it's called Papa Murphy's.
Are they good?
I don't remember having it. It's like a take and bake pizza. So they make the pizza there for you, take it home, and you bake it in your oven.
Ah, okay. Who are some wrestlers that you are a big fan of so much that you couldn't boo them while they were or are heels? For me, it's Batista, Edge, Christian, Drew McIntyre, and Cross. Kyle, do you mean like of all time or just currently? Oh, he said currently. Never mind.
Maybe.
I guess of all time. I don't know, but I never booed Edge. I don't know. I always thought Edge was too likable to be a heel. I don't know. I just always thought he was too likable to be a heel. I preferred him as a face. Who else? Eddie Guerrero. He was able to be a heel, but I liked him too much. I loved him too much to boo him. Kurt Angle, same thing. Oddly enough, Triple H. I always preferred Triple H more as a face. Like when he was a heel, it was just like, okay, we get it. You're a dick.
You prefer Triple H as a face?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like, yeah,
I think that's I think you're in the minority with that one. I may be wrong, but
I mean, because like Triple H, like when he's a face, like he's actually like charming and funny. When he's a heel, it's just like this feels forced because it's like, okay, we get it.
That.
It's like we get it. You're an asshole. We know you're an asshole. This like we get the joke. You know what I mean? Like him coming out doing I'm the game, and I've beaten everybody, and I'm awesome, and then talking for 20 minutes. It's just like, eh. Even though I was a Triple H supporter back then, I still am. But I don't know. Just I preferred him more as a face. That's just me. I'm in the minority.
98 DX, yes, but like 2007, him going against Great Khali, he was boring as shit to me personally. I think he was just boring. But who's some wrestlers I haven't really booed anybody. Like, oh, I hate like as like a legit fan. Price is like Owen Hart. I hated Owen Hart when I was like young, but like everyone else, like I don't boo or cheer or. Yeah, I mean, I cheer, obviously, but, like, I don't really boo anybody because they're a heel. Like, you're a heel. Yeah, I mean, there's, like, go away heat, like Dana Botch. You know what I mean? You know, like that, but, like, being booed for the reasons for you to be booed, like, not really anybody for me, so.
Right. In your opinion, what are the worst theme songs currently in AEW and WWE?
You got it.
Oh shit! All right. Currently in WWE.
Or AEW.
AEW. Well, I'm gonna start with WWE. I'm not feeling Jay's new theme because it just feels like it's. We talked about this. I was just like, I don't know. Maybe it'll grow on me, but like, it just feels
Down
like
since. J1-ish. Down since. J1-ish. I'm down since. J1-ish.
to me, like it strikes me as like when a character leaves a TV show and they get their own spin-off, and they just take the old TV show theme and just put their own lyrics in it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Maybe it'll grow on me, but like currently I'm not feeling it. Who else in WWE? Can't really think of anyone. I'll if I think of somebody, it'll come to me because I know there's some that I don't like. I hate that they took away Nathan Frazier's old theme.
Yes.
I
love the whole theme.
I am a wanderer. Like I really love that thing.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker's theme. It's okay. It's a little generic sometimes. I really. Oh, we're not talking about ones that we like, but ones that I don't like. Gigi Dolan's theme is kind of weird. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it's not great. Yeah.
I like it was like a version of like Marilyn Manson's "Sweet Dreams" cover, and then the Toxic Attraction cover was really good because it was like a take on a Cherry Pie from Warrant. And then when she went solo, it's like, it's kind of a whack theme. So, AEW themes I don't like. All of them. I'm playing. No. Something about Ricky Stark's theme just doesn't connect with me.
Oh, I love Ricky Stark's theme. Oh, that's a shame. Okay.
Not that I hate it, but it's just like, I don't know. Like, something about it just doesn't register with me. I don't know if he still has it, but Jake Hager's theme sucks.
Oh, it's not good.
It's like the most off-putting theme because he comes out to like trap, hardcore rap music or something. I'm like,
Sammy Guevara's thing too as well. I mean, like Sammy Guevara.
Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, it doesn't fit him. You know what I mean? One theme, I don't like Danhausen's theme.
Right.
I don't like his theme.
All right, I'm gonna say something that might shock you. I'm not a fan of MJF's theme.
Oh, you're crazy! You're crazy!
Okay, let me explain why. So the theme is public domain. So like, if he were to go to WWE, he could take it to WWE if he wants. So I don't know. I just think like over the years, like. To me, it's just like, can he get new music? Because, like, It sounds
so douchey.
What was that?
It sounds so douchey.
Right, but it's just like, I'm pretty sure MJF can get better music.
Like it does sound amateurish at first. Okay, so let me ask you this.
It's generic. I'll just put it that way.
It is generic. Do you remember when the show broke up?
Yeah.
So Roman kept like the show's theme, Dean Ambrose's theme. Holy fuck, that was bad. That's a terrible theme.
Like the car thing. Yeah, it was generic, but yeah, like
that was terrible. Seth Rollins' theme
was better.
That was terrible.
Debatable.
Terrible.
But yeah, Roman I didn't like.
It's just like a headbang. It's like an instrumental headbang. You're like. But we got used to it, and it's like, okay, like I didn't really like love the thing, but like got used to it type of thing. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing with MJF. At first, I was like, I didn't know if I like it, but now it's like when I hear those opening notes, I'm like, oh fuck, like just such douche. And it's like booze and like, I don't know. I like it. It's growing on me.
Well, I mean, it's here's what I'll say. Like at All In, when he made his entrance as like the devil, and he had his like women out there, and they were doing like I guess the remixed version of his theme. And then as soon as he like comes off his pedestal and takes off his mask, they play that theme. I'm like, that's a little off-putting. Like I don't know, just I don't know what kind of music MJF listens to, but like I don't know, I would think like they would give him better music or just new music in general. But that's just me.
Jeff Jarrett Jay Lethal mashup is fucking terrible.
Oh yeah, that's bad. That's BAD bad.
It is terrible. Just do My World. I just love My World by itself. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I make up my own versions in my head, like, because I don't even know what he says. Like, so anyway,
Trying to think of who else.
WWE. Kind of, sort of. It's okay. It's not terrible by any means. Tiffany Stratton's theme's kind of, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not my total cup of tea.
Yeah, it's pretty generic.
It's generic, yeah. It's generic. Roxanne's theme, not really a huge fan of.
I don't even know what her theme sounds like, to be honest.
What else? Let's see who else. I mean, Viking Raiders is, you know, just there. It's nothing great or anything like that.
I'll be honest, I didn't like Gunther's theme at first, but then it really started to resonate with me.
It grew on me. Yeah, it grew on me. I'll say this: the original version didn't really like it, but once they added the mixture of his old theme at the beginning, mixing with the Gunther, it sounds like a final boss theme. What?
As far as I just thought of one I hated WWE. I hate Grayson Waller's theme.
I like it.
It's
not great, but I like it.
I don't know. Maybe it's because I just don't like Grayson Waller, but I don't know. You
don't like Grayson Waller?
To me, I'm just like I'm still confused about what he's trying to. Like, again, I know he's like the social media guy, but it's like, okay, you're a social media guy. You're coming out to random rap music. You're dressed like a boxer, but you move around like a basketball player. I don't know.
I mean, he's not necessarily dressed like a boxer per se. I mean, the shorts could be boxer or basketball, depending on how you look at it.
I mean, he had a good match with Edge. He had a good match with Ray. He has a punchable face. He knows how to be a heel, but I don't know. I don't care for the theme. That's just me.
Who else? Is there anybody other than there? I hate how they changed Pretty Deadly's theme. I don't like the new theme.
I like the new theme.
I don't like the new theme.
Yes, boy.
I don't like the new theme. I just like the other one sounded generic too, but it was just like it was simple. Like this one's just like with the singing and something. Like I'm not really too hip to the fact on that, as the kids say. Yeah.
I like the segment on Friday where Adam Page is just like, wait, if you have an arm injury, why are you in a wheelchair? That was great.
Yeah. Downgrade of a theme is Ricochet's theme. I know why they got rid of his first theme, but like this new one's like.
Yeah, I like the dun 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 dun. That was pretty cool. It was like a superhero theme. I like that. I don't like Logan Paul's theme.
It's okay.
I don't know.
There's definitely worse.
Who else? Man, we can do this all day.
I know. Joe Gacy's theme. Love is black. Love is black. Grass is greener on the other side. They can definitely improve on that one, I think. Possibly.
Oh, man. That was good. All right, that's our choice.
I think that was. I think we should end it there.
Okay, exactly. Have you ever done yoga? As I'm going in the next couple weeks. No, I have not.
Never. Let us know how that goes.
I heard DDP yoga works. What are some of your favorite Wrestling Soup segments of all time? Mine are Don East Crazy Deals, the review of Sonny's sex tape, 60 Seconds Total Divas, the Love Charger song, Cold Like Mission Numbers song, Turk the Marine Guy's shitbox messages, Mish's Wisconsin Dells and Milwaukee stories, the Don Tony and Kevin Castle show impression on the shitbox, and how Joe Numbers was right about Sasha Banks. Man, you're like giving me gold, Kyle. That's like choosing your favorite child. I don't know. I can't think of one because there's too many great ones. I honestly can't think of one, and it's gonna sound like a cop out. There's just too many great segments to choose from. So, if I think of one, I'll tell you. All right, Kyle, that's enough from you. We're back to Goof. All right, gridiron football season is now upon us. With that in mind, do you think is that AA? Oh no,
Aaron. He's trying to say AA Ron.
Okay, fuck him.
For like Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers will complete his Brett Favre transformation by signing with the Vikings next season, or no?
Fucking tore his fucking Achilles. So I don't think so.
Yeah, he's more than likely done.
I don't think he's done. I don't think he's done, but he's done for the year, and he'll come back to the Jets.
Between these two, Anna and John Krauser, which of these two are nuttier than a fruitcake? I'm gonna say Anna.
Yeah, probably so.
Why is fruitcake so nasty? How can two delicious foods combine to taste so bad? I mean, fruit on a cake? Like, if it's just like a topping, that's fine. But, like, actual fruit cake? I don't know. That's just something just unholy about that.
Yeah, that's like putting, macaroni and, that's like putting macaroni and pie together. Like macaroni pie, like,
Really?
Like, we love pie, we love macaroni, think it'll taste good together? Fuck no.
Hell no. Fuck that. Keep macaroni separate. Drew, if Bailey rejects your offer to be your and the Mrs. side piece, who's your backup choice? Jesus Christ. Selena Gomez. It's either that or nobody. Justin, this is a question for you. If elected president, how do you plan to combat the current greatest threat to your democracy, or to our democracy, I'm sorry, the humping robot from Robot Chicken?
Never seen Robot Chicken, so they can't help you there.
Jeez. Alright, so we got enough Mary Kills, so we gotta open shit.
Okay.
Alright, let me know if you have it up.
It is opening up, and it's open.
Alright, so our choices are Selena De La Renta from MLW, Kaden Carter from WWE, or Brandy Lauren from the Indies.
F. Mary Kill.
I'll go first. Mary. I'm gonna go with marrying Kaden Carter because she seems like wifey material. Fuck Selena De La Renta and then kill Brandy Lauren.
I agree. That's how I would have done it too as well. Yeah. Brandy, I mean she looks good, but like it's like, I mean, I don't know. Just something about her is off to me. So
yeah, I don't, she's good looking. She's just not for me. Who asked more questions, me or Savage Elite? Definitely you, Goof. There's no doubt about that.
I don't know. Savage Elite has like a shit ton of questions coming up, so we'll see. We'll say the same.
It's perfectly balanced. Will either of you be buying the new 4K Blu-ray release of Batman: Mask of the Phantasm? Me, probably not, because everyone loves that movie. I just always thought it was kind of overhyped. Just me personally, never was a big fan of that movie. All right. Oh, Kyle has another question. Do you think they test for AIDS, HPV, HIV in wrestling shows before wrestlers bleed? Because, oh boy, if they didn't test and they spread it the other wrestlers and refs, that would be awful and reckless. I mean, I would think so. Alright then. Anna. Anna has some questions. Is Drew Yari secretly Von Cully's personal taxi driver? No, that would be Justin. Hello. And why am I mute? Are you fucking kidding me right now? I have no idea why I'm mute.
They sing the original word. Yeah. I just.
All right, finally I can fucking hear you.
The shit right there, man. Okay. Yeah, what happened to you, man?
I have no idea what the fuck happened.
Okay, no worries.
I just had to go into Discord and fix some shit. Anyways, Anna's question is, am I secretly Von Cully's personal driver? I would think that'd be Justin.
Oh, wait a second. Where are we at?
Okay, when was the last? What was the last question we had?
It was the Batman Mask of the Phantasm.
Yeah, I said I would not be buying it because I wasn't a big fan of that movie like everyone else was.
Okay.
And then Kyle asked, do you think they test for AIDS, HPV, and HIV in wrestling shows before other wrestlers bleed?
WWE, AEW, 100% yes. Impact, yes. Like the major ones, yes. Once you start getting out to your indies, like, I don't know. I don't know. And just me, like, being involved somewhat-ish with some of the local wrestlers here, I highly doubt it that they will test for that. But that's probably not why, at least in San Antonio, there's not a lot of bleeding. So.
All right, now we're on to Anna, who's on the Von Collie Special Part 2.
Oh, give it to me.
Is Drew Yari secretly Von Collie's personal taxi driver?
Oh, are you?
I mean, I might be. You never know.
Come on, man. Come on, tell me. Let me know. Come on. Can't keep it a secret from me.
We're in discussions. We're in discussions, I'll put it that way.
I'll talk to him.
I cannot reveal my secrets. Does Von Cully have a crush on Britt Baker?
No, because Britt Baker has a crush on Von Cully.
Ah, okay, ladies' man.
Yeah, exactly.
Are Justin and Von Cully secretly Western outlaws?
Goddamn right we are.
Is Dom secretly Von Cully's long-lost son?
He could be. He could be, actually.
Oh, man. Did Von Cully secretly buy WWE?
You know what? Actually, yes, because that's why he's going to be coming into WrestleMania. And, so the goal for Von Cully, let me tell you guys the goal for him. He wants to win every single title in NXT, including the women's. And he wants to win every single title in WWE, including the women's as well. Then he's going to go to AEW afterwards, too. So, get ready.
Okay. Is Jeff Lippman Von Cully's lawyer and financial advisor? I'd have to ask him about that. Is Von Cully's WrestleMania entrance longer than The Undertaker's and Great Khali's?
It's going to be longer than life. There's going to be 3 nights of WrestleMania. Starting on Friday. The first night is just Von Cully's entrance.
Is Von Cully secretly the governor of Texas?
No, because I won't say the state sucks, but no, he'll have to stay a lot better than what it is right now.
Is Von Cully better than you, Bebe?
Absolutely is.
You know it. Is Von Cully's penis bigger than Adam Cole and bigger than Batista's penis?
Combined together, yes.
He's got like a fucking anaconda there. 2 anacondas. Does Von Cully sleep in a tub?
He sleeps, no, he sleeps in the sky. Like he floats in the sky, sleeps on a cloud.
Oh boy. Does Von Cully use extra strength Drew Yari shampoo? Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. You'll just have to find out. Does Von Cully secretly own Justin's store?
He owns me. Yes, master.
Jesus Christ, dude. Does to Von Kali or to not Von Kali? That is the question.
It's always two.
Does Von Kali hoard Garbage Pail Kids cards?
No, because he is the Garbage Pail Kids cards.
And lastly, is CM Goof secretly Von Kali's stylist? Are you Goof?
Yeah, you gotta ask Goof on that one.
Alright, thank you, Anna.
Oh man, that was great. That was best questions of the fucking year. It was fantastic.
Alright, Savage Elite has quite a few questions. With a couple months left in the year, who would you say currently is the worst wrestler of the year? In my opinion, my choice is Jon Moxley. But again, it's subjective.
Oh my god, I'm rubbing my hands over my face right now. Okay, realistically, I will probably say maybe Dana Brooke.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like I said, I did admit there were some things that she was improving on down at NXT. AEW, I can't really think of someone of the worst wrestler of the year. Dana Brooke, it really comes to me like very quickly. I don't know. I can't really think of anyone else.
All right.
Maybe Maria Shafir. I think that's probably fair.
I mean, I think your problem is you just don't know her.
Yeah, well, I don't know anything about her.
You don't know me. What is your go-to meal at your favorite fast food restaurant? I mean, McDonald's nuggets. Simple. Had nuggets earlier.
Yeah, that's always good. At my favorite fast food restaurant, what would be my favorite? If I had to pick one restaurant, it's not my favorite, but if I had to pick one restaurant, it's probably McDonald's. But my favorite fast food restaurant is probably. I love Mama Margie's, man. I don't eat it all the time, but I love it when I go. Quesadilla, steak quesadilla with sometimes a sweet tea, but I'll get a like a Sprite or something like that.
Yeah.
Just simple, man. Like Mama, like Tex-Mex, Mama Margie's. Like, I know you guys don't know what the fuck that is, but Jesus, man, if you come to San Antonio, you gotta go.
All right. Next is rank the set of wrestlers in each group in ring wise 1 to 3. So just ranking. First is Gunther, Cody, and Will Ospreay. I'll probably go Gunther, Ospreay, and Cody.
Yeah, that's perfect. In ring wise, it says in ring, right? In ring wise, yeah.
Mercedes, Trinity, and Jade Cargill. Ooh. I'll probably go Trinity, Mercedes, and Jade.
Yeah, I agree. Trinity's very fucking good in the ring. Like, I don't think she gets enough credit on that.
This is a doozy. Bret Hart, Kurt Angle, and Chris Benoit.
Oh,
I'm gonna go Kurt Angle, Benoit, and Hart.
I'm gonna go with Bret, Kurt, Benoit.
All right. Hardys, Usos, and Edge and Christian. I'll say...
ring.
Yeah, in-ring. I'll go Edge and Christian, Usos, and Hardys.
Usos, Edge, and Christian, Hardys for me.
All right. Baron Corbin, John Moxley, and Tommy Dreamer. Fuck.
Holy fuck. Alrighty.
Oh,
Well, we
yeah.
know who's last for you. Maybe. I don't know.
I'll say Moxley won because Moxley can have a match with somebody as long as he's being led. Corbin can work as long as he's being led. And Tommy Dreamer, because I don't give a fuck.
I agree with that. Moxley, Corbin, and Dreamer, and
Okay, what the fuck?
Despite that, I think Moxley and Corbin are good wrestlers. Tommy Dreamer, I mean, he's old, obviously super old now, but like even in his prime, like he had at best decent matches at his peak. So,
okay, what the fuck, Savage? What is with this question? Jesus Christ. The next one is Marco Stunt, Danhausen, and Orange Cassidy.
I'll go first. I'll go first on this one. Orange won. Marco Stunt's terrible, so he's number 3. Then Danhausen, who's like not good at all, I don't think, but like he's not terrible either. So he's 2. So Orange, Dan, Marco Stunt, which is a weird threesome there. So
I'll copy your answer because I hate all of them. I don't really hate Danhausen. I don't like either. I never liked Marco Stunt.
Yeah, Danhausen, like he's not really good in the ring. He's just there for laughs or whatnot, and he's a huge nerd. So
Yeah. Anyways, Kenny Omega, Dominic, and Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
All right. Kenny won. I mean, Jericho, he had the good match with Ospreay where he just basically became Jericho from like 15 years ago. I don't know, it's weird about Jericho because like he can have good matches, but like he'll just kind of have this like back and forth thing where he'll have a good match and he'll have a shitty match.
When he's motivated, yeah.
When he's motivated. So just on that alone, I'll say Dominic at 2 and Jericho at 3.
Well, I got Jericho and Dominic in reverse, so Kenny 1, Jericho 2, Dominic 3.
All right. This is gonna be Jesus Christ. Dana Brooke, Nia Jax, and the Bunny.
Walk, mate. Holy shit.
Savage wants to break us tonight.
Jesus Christ.
This is like
believe it or not, I'm going Nia Jax number 1.
You know what? She's my number 1 too.
I'm going Nia Jax number 1. The Bunny, like she looks okay in certain aspects. Like there's some things I'm like, she's not great at all. But there's some things like, okay, I kind of like that. Okay, I kind of like what you did there. You know what I mean? I can at least say that about her. So she's number 2. Dana Brooke is like, no. Like, not at all. Like, the only thing I like about Dana Brooke that I kind of mentioned is like kind of like something like where they're selling a little bit. But that's probably about it. You know what I mean?
Right. I'll just do that.
Jesus.
It gets worse. Great Khali, Giant Gonzalez, and Omos.
What the fuck?
Omos has shown that.
I'll say Omos is number 1.
Omos has shown he can work, given the right opponent, of course. So, Omos won. I've only seen Giant Gonzalez have one match, and that was Taker.
Khali 2. I'll go with Khali 2.
Yeah, so Khali too. And then I don't know. There's like footage of Khali in Japan, and he was shown he can work.
Oh yeah, he was super athletic. So yeah, so.
Lastly,
I never say anything good for her. Even when he was fucking El Gigante in fucking WCW, like no,
he was awful. Lastly, Macho Man, The Rock, and Batista.
Very interesting 3 people there. I'm gonna go with Macho Man 1. I don't think that is me being biased towards Macho Man because he's my favorite of all time, but just really thinking about it, like he had more exciting matches, like overall exciting. Like The Rock is a great showman, but I'll probably go with Rock 2 and Batista 3.
That's not a bad list. Probably go with Rock 1, Macho 2, and Batista 3.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, next. I'm thinking of joining Patreon. Have you ever thought of doing live streams for the Drew Yard Experience on Face Cam instead of audio only to entice and more of the shows more personable to Patreons? I would love to see it. I mean, I always like to make sure everyone knows to subscribe to the Patreon. We just had a new Patreon join today, so thank you for coming.
Oh, nice.
The more Patrons we get, the more shit you guys get. The more tiers that I can put out. Maybe I might even give some shit away. So, I would love to do live shows. Or not live shows, but just live, camera feeds.
I guess what he's saying is that like if you're on Patreon, because I think I know what he's saying is that like a lot of podcasters, YouTubers, like for example, we were just talking about a little bit earlier, the major wrestling figure podcast, they just have their podcast that's just like this, just a podcast, but they have like to their Patreons, whoever subscribe, they can be able to watch like the live video version of the podcast through YouTube, and they can be able to go back and watch it and like watch it live on stream as well as it's being recorded. So
yeah, I mean, again, the more patrons we get, the more shit we can do. That's what I always say. Next is, if you can take one thing from AEW to make WWE better and one thing from WWE to make AEW better, what would it be? If I can take one thing from AEW to make WWE better, in my opinion, and this is just a match thing, bring back time limits. I actually like time limits. So I don't know, they give more of a sense of urgency to matches. Give one thing to WWE to make AEW better, better management.
Yeah, management's for sure. Yeah, I'll just say it's women's division, straight up, better women's division, more focus there. WWE this week had all three shows. All three shows had all three main events to be women matches. So that's that. One thing to take from AEW to make WWE better. Promo styles, I would say, kind of let them, like the promos feel not necessarily more real in AEW, but it feels less structured, which can and cannot be well, but it feels more spontaneous versus just like, hey, I'm gonna come out here, I'm gonna say this and that, and this is how you're gonna respond and this and that. So I think the promos in AEW are a little bit more spontaneous. Which, if you give that to WWE and just kind of give them a little bit of a template, but be spontaneous, I think, man, WWE will have some really good shit going if they do that.
Yeah, I mean, because I've seen Seth Rollins, talk in interviews where he's just, as himself, and he's like a much different Seth Rollins than what you see on TV. Like, he seems like someone who's like you want to hang out with. Like, he seems like a cool guy, like a down to earth guy. So it's just like, creative freedom could be a good and a bad thing.
Right. Like kind of let them know, like, hey, this is what you must follow, but kind of go out there, because WWE is so formulaic, where it's like Cody is now going out there every time and saying, hey, so what do you want to talk about? But when he did an AEW the first time, it was organic because of the rumored contract situations, like, what you want to talk about, you know what I mean? So it felt organic the first time. Now it just feels like it's just, too formulaic. And also when they're like, hey, welcome to Monday Night Raw, where they do their opening promo segment, and they're like, welcome to Monday Night Raw, to whoever wrestlers out there, welcome to Friday Night SmackDown. It's like, god damn, man, like, Jesus Christ, can we not be so formulaic?
I also think it will work better if they just do bullet points instead of just scripts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
But some people do need scripts, though.
I was about to say that. Not everybody can talk off the cuff. Just give them scripts or just give them bullet points. I don't know. That's just me. The next question: are your wrestling opinions influenced by big podcasters like Jim Cornette, Bruce Pritchard, Busted Open Radio, etc.? I never listen to Busted Open Radio. I don't really listen to Bruce Pritchard. Cornette, I don't really listen to. I listen to him, but I don't really listen to his shows in entirety like I used to, because I don't know, like, I don't really listen to a lot of corporate podcasts anymore. Like, if I do listen to podcasts, it's going to be, like, my friends. It's going to be Wrestling Soup. It'll be RJ. It'll be Monty, Ruben, or Jeff. I'd rather hear what they have to say and not, somebody who's getting paid a lot of money to give their opinion. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, again, as much as I love Cornette, I respect him. He's entertaining. Like, I'm at the point where it's just like, okay, I already know what Cornette's going to think about this. I already know what Eric Bischoff's going to think about this. I already know what Vince Russo's going to think about this. So, why even bother? But yeah, I'm just, to answer your question, I'm sorry, Savage, but to answer your question, my opinion, I don't want to say influence, but I like to listen to what everybody has to say to kind of gauge, to kind of read the room. You know what I mean? But that's just me. What do you think?
Yeah, same thing with me, because I do listen to Cornette. Sometimes I have him on like when I'm sleeping or whatnot. So I mean, just listen to Cornette talk. Like, I'm just saying, like if I don't have like anything to watch, like I'll pull on like a podcast like from Cornette or Steven Larson or Solomonster or even JD. Like I put on podcasts and I hear these guys' different opinions on certain things, and not all their opinions are the same, obviously, but it's just good and healthy to hear different opinions and just be like, hey, is my opinion too brash? Am I thinking the same way? Do we have the same opinion? Oh, I didn't think about it like that. Okay, they're right about that. Oh no, I don't agree with them there. So my opinions are not influenced by big podcasters. I just like to get different ideas and perspectives from those podcasters.
It's also a thing of kind of like what you just said, where it's like, am I the only one that thinks this? And then you hear other people talk about it, and you're like, okay, good to know I'm not alone on this one. You know what I mean?
Right,
so,
exactly. Then there's also things where it's like, you know what? I was thinking this way for a second, and it's not really being, well, you can't say it is influenced to a T, but it's like, hey, I was thinking about it this way, but damn, the way that they explain it, they're like, I'm okay. I kind of get it. I kind of understand it. So it's it can be influenced, but for the most part, for me, my opinions is my opinions at the end of the day. So
right. Favorite movies from each genre. Favorite action movie. Favorite action movie. I would say Bloodsport.
Good one. For me, it's obviously a Bond movie. But just as an honorable mention, real quick, I gotta say, love Die Hard. Just gotta say that best Christmas movie of all time. But Bond movie. I mean, I love Casino Royale. I love GoldenEye. I love The Spy Who Loved Me. But my favorite Bond movie, which is basically like the closest thing to a lot of people say is the closest thing to a superhero movie, is Skyfall. It's like the Dark. It's like the fucking Dark Knight, but Bond, pretty much. So, love that movie.
Comedy. Coming to America.
Yeah, Coming to America for me too, probably. Back to the Future, if you want to consider that comedy, but is definitely Coming to America for me. It's definitely one of my favorite movies, like, ever, for sure.
Horror. The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing.
I'm gonna say something very controversial, probably. I like the movie. I like John Carpenter's Thing. I think it's overrated. I like the original better.
Okay.
I think that's controversial. I don't know, but for me,
I mean, hey, it's horror. It's subjective, so
yeah, for sure. I will say Friday the 13th Part 4. But I love Part 3 and I love like the 2 through 3, the Friday 13th, like 2 through 4 Friday 13th, like they're fucking amazing. I'll probably go with Part 4 though. Like, it's just, just Corey Feldman just going crazy. It's great.
And
before he turned to Michael Jackson.
Oh wait. And a strong second place would be the first Alien.
Yeah.
By Ridley Scott. Drama. Probably the Departed.
That's good. That's a good one. For me, it's probably either Goodfellas, Scarface, or the first Godfather. I just I think I'm part Italian, I think. You know what I mean? Because I love me some fucking mafia. I just love mafia shit. Just, it's so fucking, very interesting, learning shit about the mafia. Even though Scarface wasn't really about, like, the mafia per se. That was, like, with the Colombians and shit, but,
Right.
drugs in Miami, but Goodfellas is probably number one for me.
Science fiction, Alien.
Yeah, it's technically a sci-fi movie. Yeah. I would say the first World of Worlds, 1953. The what they did at the time, being in color, the sound effects is fucking tremendous. The Day the Earth Stood Still, I think 1951, and the movie sucks, but you can't watch sci-fi movies without watching some bad sci-fi movies, and Plan 9 from Outer Space is fucking great. Right. It is so bad, but it's so good. Love it.
And lastly, superhero. Me, The Dark Knight.
Yeah, probably The Dark Knight. I like The Batman. I really think The Batman was really good, like really good. Because it felt more like a Batman movie. Because like Batman's like a detective. Right. So probably that. I'm gonna go probably the first X-Men too.
Okay.
I love the first X-Men. It's so great.
Yeah, me too. Me and also Days of Future Past was great. Logan was great. Deadpool was great.
Yeah, Logan's up there too. Yeah.
So. Next question. Oh boy, there's a lot of questions, and it's getting late.
I think Savage Elite won this time. Goof.
Jesus Christ. Would you like to see Jacob Fatu in WWE in the next couple years? Yeah, I mean, why not?
Yeah, sure. I mean, as long as he cleans up what he needs to clean up. I mean, but he had that I guess minor thing. Depending on how you look at it, with the whole
the charity thing.
The charity thing, but apparently he had like a family emergency, so. Who knows what the actual real story is, but yeah.
All right. If you were to start a wrestling promotion, what style would it be? For me, it would be traditional strong style with a mix of high flying. Style. Yeah, just mix it up. Have some, good mat technicians and throw in some high flyers. Just bring in some guys that look like wrestlers and just mix it up like you do with what WCW was trying to be in the 90s. I'll say it like that.
My mixture will be kind of like a WWE as far as presentation is concerned. Have some of the promos, like the promo style of AEW, but like with a bunch of hybrid wrestlers with the high flying. Like high flying is like probably my favorite style of wrestling. That's why I think the Cruiserweight Classic is probably like my favorite tournament of all time, just because of like everything you can see in that tournament. But yeah, just like a little bit of mixture of everything, obviously. But that would probably be predominantly that, and long-term storytelling. Can't forget about that.
All right. Next, top 3 wrestlers from each brand: WWE, Impact, and AEW. I'll do WWE first. LA Knight, Rhea, and actually, let me change it. Gunther, Ilya, and Cody.
Is he saying in ring or just overall?
Just overall, like, who are your favorite wrestler or top 3 wrestlers from each brand?
So the top 3 wrestlers in WWE is LA Knight, Roman, Seth.
Okay.
Those are the top 3, like, as of today.
Okay. Impact. I don't watch Impact, so I have no idea who to choose.
I mean,
Josh Alexander, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Josh Alexander, Steve Macklin, and Trinity.
Sure. And lastly, AEW. I don't know. Is he? I don't know if Savage is here. Like, I don't know if he's asking like our perspective or just talking about like in general. But
the way I'm looking at it is just like the top 3 wrestlers, like kind of like you know how like the PWI we were just doing like the top 3 wrestlers. Like that's the way I'm looking at it, at least. So.
I'm just gonna name my perspective. MJF, Ricky Starks, and Danielson.
Danielson, MJF, Adam Cole.
All right. What are your
not out of order, but that's just the 3.
What are your wrestling pet peeves? Me. Anytime a wrestler interferes in a match and his music plays, and the other wrestler in the ring has to act like a deer in the headlights.
Like they don't know who it is or anything like that.
Like he does the whole, "What are you doing out here, huh? You should not be here," and the guy's like literally at the fucking top of the ramp. It's like, okay. The whole bit where someone's diving out the ring and there's like 4 or 5 people conveniently just standing there and waiting for them to fall down on them.
Oh yeah, that's terrible too.
Or in the ring, same. I fucking hate that. Leg slapping.
Wait, when someone holds themselves up on the ropes, so like they're like it's stuck between like the top of the middle rope and they're holding themselves up, and someone does like a move on them.
Yeah,
I hate that.
Leg slaps.
else?
I don't care for personally.
Yeah, everyone does it. But I don't like it. It's just everyone does it. Let me see. Oh, I had it in my head and it totally went away. No, dumb baby faces.
Explain.
I hate that baby faces are dumber than the heels. I hate that.
Okay.
So stupid. Like, just like, hey, I'm gonna trust you tonight. And then they turn it like kind of like with Sting, like in the early '90s when he was like trusting like Ric Flair and like the 4 like Sting's like, hey, hey, you better not turn on me. Then Ric Flair turns on him like at the pay-per-view. I'm like, fuck, man, like you know not to trust Ric Flair, Sting. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Let's see, kendo sticks. I'm getting tired of kendo sticks.
You could thank WWE for that for sure.
Boy.
Because that's like the only weapon that they can use. Like, no, I can't really think of much of anything else as right now. I'm pretty sure it'll come to us later.
Wrestlers that talk really loud in the ring.
John Cena.
Exactly.
You talk too much.
I remember there was I think it was like Money in the Bank 2016 or something, and it was Cena and AJ, and I just hear Cena like say as clear as day, "All right, we're gonna do a hip toss into the turnbuckle," and I just hear AJ go, "What?"
Remember, I think it was like whenever the Royal Rumble that Shinsuke won. And like it was like down to like the final 3 or 4, and Shinsuke was trying to come for a spot, and like you just hear Cena say, "No, Shinsuke, no!" Oh my god!
Oh boy, Cena. There's a few more questions, and those are the last ones of the night. Who is your favorite woman comic book character? Me, Scarlet Witch, and not just because Liz Olsen is hot as balls. I liked her in the comics. She's a fucking badass. Her, Phoenix, Elektra's pretty fucking dope.
Me, 100% Dark Phoenix, 100%.
Dark Phoenix, Elektra's pretty fucking dope. Storm, Huntress is pretty cool. Black Canary is cool.
Catwoman.
Oh yeah, can't go wrong with Catwoman. Batgirl's pretty cool. Depending on who's writing for her. There was actually a Supergirl comic I just read that was actually really fucking good, and they actually like it's probably one of the best written comics I've read in a while. Who's another one? Gwen's Spider Gwen. She's fucking cool. I love her. That's really all I can think of at the moment. What about you?
Oh yeah, no, I was kind of naming along. So like Catwoman, Dark Phoenix is my number one. Storm, who else? I like Wonder Woman to a T. I mean, I like Gal Gadot. That's who I like. I like Gal Gadot. And I like fucking Jesus. Why? How did I forget her name? 70s Wonder Woman. Linda Blair. No, not Linda. Linda Carter. Linda Carter.
Linda Carter.
Like her. But, yeah.
Why people on social media can't get along about pro wrestling, but a lot of wrestlers themselves cheer each other on? I don't know. I mean,
a bunch of marks.
We've talked about this ad nauseum. There's just so much tribalism in wrestling, whereas the wrestlers are just like, there's another place where wrestlers can make money. Cool.
Well, not even just that. Just actually people actually cheering each other on. Whereas where it's like, you get some people like, cheering for the Jesus Christ. Like you do realize that people if one wrestling company is doing very well, that's gonna force the other company to do better, and everyone's gonna have to just step up their game. So,
yeah. I mean, and also, everybody in AEW and WWE and Impact and CMML are more than likely all friends.
Yeah.
So, legit friends. They shared cars together and shared hotel rooms together. So they're all best friends in real life. So
yeah. I forgot who was training with who. Oh, Top. I just saw Top Dollar train with Moose. The other day, so it's that's kind of random, honestly, but that's cool. But it's like when you see it, it's oh shit, that's pretty cool. You know what I mean?
All right. Next is favorite San Antonio attractions.
I think Riverwalk is
to
me the number one thing. If you come to San Antonio, you gotta see the Riverwalk. And directly you'll see the Amble if you're at the Riverwalk. I like going to La Cantera. I like scenery type of stuff. Going to La Cantera, not just to go buy stuff, but just to actually go see stuff. And you're literally next door to Six Flags. So I just love seeing the scenery and catching the vibes there. San Antonio doesn't have a lot of major attractions. Unless you want to go to the Missions and you want to go to Natural Bridge Caverns, the caves. Well, but to me, just being outdoors and catching certain sceneries and things of that nature. Not necessarily outdoors as far as being in the woods, but outdoors as far as going to local shops and going, trying different restaurants and things of that nature. So it's not really attractions per se, but that's things I like to do.
Yeah, Natural Bridge Caverns was pretty good. We went a few years ago for our anniversary, and it was a lot of fucking walking, and I even did the after hours tour. It was fun. It's just it's a lot of walking. You're in a very steep and humid cave, right. But it was we had fun. And just the obvious, the Riverwalk, the Alamo downtown, pretty much everything we just named. All right. Last question. It's not really a question. Let's wrap it up with a tier list. I'm very surprised has never heard of tier list rankings before, as it is huge for things like superhero movies and horror movies. Let's do an NXT women's tier list. Each one of you can do your own list. Enjoy. So we have to click on a link?
Yeah, click the link.
Okay.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh damn, this is
Oh fuck, okay.
Alright.
This seems like it's gonna take a while.
Huh? I don't know, we can be quick with it.
Okay, how do you make this list? I have no idea how to make this list.
So basically, you see everyone on the bottom there. All you gotta do is click it and drag it, and you put them on the tier. So, for example, who's the first one there for you? Mine's Fallon Henley.
I think that's Fallon Henley. Yeah.
Next to Ava.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, for me, Fallon Henley as an example. As far as being on NXT, I'm gonna go with a B, because she's always on TV a lot. she's always on TV. She gets wins every now and then. She's prominent in the role, and she's like always with Brooks and Jensen. Obviously, she's like the third wheel of that group. So I'm gonna go with a B for her. So, but that's how it is. You'll just click and drag and you put it on a letter.
Okay, that's what I'm doing now.
Based on your opinion. So.
Okay.
So what would you say Fallon Henley is?
I
For
put
you,
her
personally.
I put her on the C list.
C? Okay. All right. So I guess we got Ava next. Ava, I'm gonna go C, just because of she ain't terrible per se, but she is on TV. She is the Rock's daughter. She needs to improve, obviously, but she ain't a D because D is like to me is like just bad. So there's no F tier on this one, but she is on TV. She's not not doing something. So, but she can do better. But her in ring is not great. I like her promos. Not fantastic, but I do like it. So I'm gonna go C on her.
I'm doing this while talking, so I'm just trying to see who I put where.
Oh, well, I thought we were doing it one at a time.
I don't know, because I've literally never done this list before. Who am I putting where?
Okay, so where did you put Ava?
Ava Rain? Let's see. I put her on the D list.
D list, okay. So I'm gonna do Blair Davenport next. Have you done Blair already?
Okay, let me just tell you who I have who. Alright, so on the S, what is the S list? I'm assuming that's like Superstar or whatever.
Well, yeah, so it's like, yeah, S is the top.
So I put Tiffany and JC at the S. Just personal preference.
JC's an S for you?
I like JC. I think JC could be something.
I think so too, but like, I don't know. I don't think she's an S right now.
Okay, I'll put her at A.
No, it's your list. This is my opinion,
A is Roxy. Why am I blanking on her fucking name? She had the match with Gigi like a few weeks ago.
Well, yeah, that's why I thought we were doing it together so we can talk about each one.
Yeah, but I'm blanking on her name. The brunette.
Yeah, I don't know, brother.
Now, is it Tatum Paxley?
Oh yeah, there's Tam Paxley is there. Yeah,
she's the one wearing like a sports bra that's like white and black.
There are a lot of them wearing white and black. Are you talking about Kiana James?
Kiana, there you go. I put Kiana in the A group. I put oh my god, Thea Hale in the A group. I put JC in the A group. Lola Vice, just based off of assets alone, in the A group.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you right now, Lola Vice is S for the wrong reasons, but she's an S.
Kira, what the fuck's her name?
Lyra Vicaria.
Lyra Vicaria is in the A group.
She is A for me, yeah.
Blair Davenport, I'll put in B.
I have her in A.
All right, Nikita Lyons in B. Ivy Nile. Who's the other girl in Metaphor? Not
Jakara Jackson.
Jakara Jackson. She's in B.
I got Jakara. I'm gonna put her C.
Sol
I'm
Roca.
gonna put her as of right now top of C.
Okay.
Top of C.
Sol Roca's in B.
Soruka.
Yeah.
Where? Yeah, I think I'll have her. Yeah, I'll have her B.
Gigi Dolan's in B, and
yeah, that's fair.
Who's the girl that's with Dana?
I have no idea because you're like because my list could be different from yours. That's what I'm saying. Roxy.
No. Who's the girl that they put with Dana? The light skinned girl.
Kalani.
Kalani, there you go. She's in B.
Kalani Jackson, yeah. B. I got her C. But she has potential though. Like she's still starting off, but like she has potential. I have her C though.
Yeah, she's pretty good. Fallon Henley, I put in C. The Japanese chick that was in NXT UK.
Omeko Samura.
Yeah, she's in C.
I got her C too because she's just not on TV. So
Alexia Lopez, she's all those curves, just isn't enough, so she's in C.
I got her B off of her, not because off of her looks, but just because off of she has a little dynamic to her,
right?
And a little there's something there. But I have her bottom of B, so she's almost C, but like I have her B though.
Wendy Chu is in C.
Yeah.
I'm so terrible with names. Tatum Paxley, she's in C.
Tatum Paxley is C. Yeah.
Who's the light-skinned Latina girl with cornrows?
That's not Ulyssa Leon. That is
Valentina.
No, it's Valentina Feroz. Valentina Feroz is the other one. This is Ulyssa Leon.
Okay, Ulyssa Leon, she's in C.
Yeah, I got her like bottom C. She's like close to a D.
Ava and Dana are in D.
Ava and Dana. I got Dana D for sure. I got Dana D and I got Stevie Turner D. And the reason why I got Stevie Turner D is because like we don't really see her. She hasn't really done shit.
Yeah, she's in D. That's the girl who has her arms crossed, right? The blonde.
Yeah, with the red strap over her chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other girl from Metaphor, I forget her name.
Lash Legend, I got her bottom C. She would have been D this time last year, but there's a little improvement that I'm liking with her as far as her character. But yeah, she ain't above a C at all.
Cora Jade's in D.
Cora Jade D.
I mean, she got some D's.
You got her in D?
Yeah.
I got her B, brother. Sorry.
I'm
bottom of B, of B, but I got her B.
It's too late to argue.
Well, so let me ask this: why? What is it about Cora Jade that you're not liking? You think she's bad as Dana Brooke? That's what you're saying.
Again,
she's on the same level as Dana Brooke, rather.
She doesn't know how to wrestle. She's not very good. I mean, to me, this is just me. She's not very good in the ring.
She's not great in the ring, but anything character-wise that you're liking, or appeal, or look, or so she's on the same level as Dana Brooke. Okay, that makes your list.
When I hear her cut a promo, it sounds like she's trying to recite a 8th grade monologue. Like, I don't know. I mean, again, she's popular and people like her, and she has that AJ Lee appeal. So I don't know. Just personal preference. I'm not a big fan of her. Just I'll put it that way. Valentina Feroz is D. So
Valentina Feroz is where?
D.
No. I got her middle C.
I haven't seen enough of her. She's not on TV a lot.
She's always on not always on TV, but she had a fucking pay-per-view match. She's there with Luisa Leon, and they're the tag team, and they wrestle on NXT maybe at least a couple times a month. I mean, that's just me. I mean, she's not. I'm not saying she's like an A or anything, but I don't think she's a D. Not at all.
Yeah, that is my tier.
Okay, well, there's still some I gotta fill in here, so let me fill those in, and we'll just go through that. Ivy Nile, JC Jane, Kiana James. Okay, so this is my list. Mm-hmm. Everything's serious but one. So the top of S tier, my top star, Tiffany Stratton. Then I got Roxanne.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got Lola. For the wrong reasons, obviously. Realistically, I probably have her maybe B somewhere. Realistically,
that body is definitely S tier.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's why she's there. A, I got Lyra, Valkyria, Blair Davenport, and Thea Hale. Thea Hale's so good.
Yeah, I agree.
Thea Hale's so good. B tier. This is not in any particular order. These are just the ones I put up here. Gigi, Fallon, Ivy, Kiana, JC, Nikita, Soruka, Electra, and Korra at the bottom. Korra is bottom B though.
Right.
Then C is Kalani, Wendy Chu, Dakar Jackson, Mako. I mean, she's not even on TV. Valentina, Ava, Tatum Paxley, Yulisa Leone, and the bottom is Last Legend. Then D, Stevie Turner, just because she's like never on TV. I think she's only seen one match for her, and Dana Botch because for obvious fucking reasons. So
nice.
All right. So what was yours? Like in that order?
Oh fuck! I click off the page.
No, it's all good. It's okay.
I mean, my S tier was Tiffany.
Yeah. No, it's like, I mean, no, it's all good. It's all good.
My A, if I can remember some names, Roxy.
I was gonna put mine in the chat.
I don't know, Roxy. I like. She's starting to show more of an aggressive side to her, which I like because she does the. I told you she does the "I'm happy to be here," voice. So I like that she's shown more aggression. I mean, and then fuck, I forgot. Yeah, and then D is Dana. So yeah, I forgot to save my image. So my bad.
Yeah, and I just wanted to put it in there in case that people want to check that out. So.
But those are all the questions, people.
Oh, fun though.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. We're almost at 4 hours. We did a big ass show tonight. This was a Saturday packed show.
Yeah, there was a lot of news, a lot of questions. So yeah, man, that was fun.
So it's gonna be fun to edit. But we will see you this Wednesday, same time, same channel. And Patreon, of course, is just $5 a month. So join the Patreon if you haven't already. And we got some good shit on there. And yeah, Justin, thank you for spending your Saturday night chopping it up and answering these questions with me, man.
Yeah. No, it was fun. A lot of great questions. And a lot of huge news as well. And yeah, the tier list was fun. So yeah. Hopefully we'll see some more from our lovely fans here.
Okay, so let me take a look at the calendar and see when the next show will be. What about... Oh, can't do the 21st because I'm going to a birthday party. What about October 28th?
Halloween edition.
Why not? Spooky edition.
Let me see. Is there anything going on the 28th?
Any pay-per-views?
I don't think there's pay-per-views, but I'm trying to check. I'm trying to check locally. Jesus, man. I missed the RCW show tonight. I was getting hit up about that.
Really?
No.
Yeah. Hopefully I didn't make anybody mad, but it's all good. I don't see any local shows. Let me check one more real quick. I think that should be good. I think that should be okay. Yeah, that's fine. 28th.
All right, nice.
Wait, what was the 21st?
21st, I have something planned.
No, okay. What was the 14th? Anything on the 14th?
I mean, that'd be kind of soon, though.
It's a month.
I don't know. I think the 20th would be better because it's the Saturday before Halloween.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, guys. We're out. It's almost midnight. And we'll see y'all this Wednesday. Peace out.
Peace.